How are the nerves? A big night here where history could be made for one of these sides tonight at the One Call Stadium, which hasn't seen a League Cup fourth round tie since 1975. But tonight, either Mansfield Town or Port Vale could reach the last eight of this prestigious cup competition for the first time, or maybe even the second time in their history. For Mansfield Town, they made it through back in 1975 and were beaten by Manchester City, but if Port Vale progress tonight, then they'll go through for the first time in their history. A good evening from the One Call Stadium, a packed out One Call Stadium. It's the League Cup fourth round on Halloween night as the mist descends here surrounding the One Call Stadium, which is packed to the rafters for a hugely important League Cup night. The trick for Mansfield Town is to get past Port Vale, and if they do that, they might just get the treat of getting either a Man United, an Arsenal, a Liverpool, or whoever they might fancy in the quarter-finals of the League Cup. But they have to get past Port Vale. Those guys, of course, as they beat them in the playoff final back in 2022. So they'll have a bit of revenge on their mind, will Mansfield Town, as the two sets of players are led out from the tunnel by the referee, Tom Bramall. It's an electric atmosphere, as we've seen so many times under the lights at the One Call Stadium, but tonight is a hugely significant night because Mansfield could make history and get through to the quarter-finals of the League Cup for the first time since 1975. These nights do not happen often, and so when they do, you have to make the most of them as the two sets of players make their way to the centre circle. Aidan Flint leading out Mansfield Town with the captain's armband on. Meanwhile, Nathan Smith, the captain of Port Vale, leads out the Valiants out of the tunnel as they do the usual pre-match routine in front of us, the handshakes and everything in between. I'll run through the teams for you with Mansfield Town, starting with Christy Pym in goal. Back four of Jordan Bowery, Aidan Flint, Lewis Brunt and Callum MacDonald. A midfield diamond with Lewis Reed at the base of it, with George Maris in the 10, Aaron Lewis and Ollie Clark either side, with Davis Keeler-Dunn and Will Swan up top. Will Swan, that one change made by Nigel Clough in the place of Lucas Akins, who's not fit tonight to play in the matchday 20. Meanwhile, for Port Vale, four changes in come. Jason Lowe, Oliver Arblaster, Ben Garrity and Uche Piezu, as Port Vale look to try and turn their form around. They've not won since the third round against Sutton United, and they come to a side unbeaten in 19 games in all competitions, unbeaten in 20 if you include last season. But again, this is a huge ask for Port Vale. And it's a huge ask for us as well as commentators here in the press box, because the mist is descending here at the One Call Stadium. It's misty and it's perfect for a Halloween night, and so I'm delighted to say alongside me on commentary in his full Halloween costume is Craig Armstrong. Good evening.
That's a disgrace, by the way. This is what I wear every day.
You can take your mask off now. What a night we've got here.
Yes, unbelievable. And yes, the mist is coming down, and I think we'll be trying to blow it away to make sure this game continues. What a great atmosphere. Port Vale look like they've sold out. Mansfield filling up. Looking forward to tonight.
It's a perfect night for it. Plenty of bobble hats and scarves and all sorts. We've got them on here. Plenty around the ground as well on this wonderful autumn evening. The floodlights are on, and again, it's just got that almost that vintage look to it, really. A proper old school League Cup tie, and hopefully we're in for the same on the pitch.
Yeah, hopefully we are. Mansfield are coming into this game in great form. Port Vale struggling, not scoring, not having shots on target, loads and loads of injuries. This game's there for the taking, and let's hopefully Mansfield can do that.
Fingers crossed. For Mansfield Town, they beat Grimsby here. They went to Hillsborough and got past Sheffield Wednesday. They also beat Peterborough United here in the last round on penalties. Meanwhile, Fleetwood, they've been past Port Vale I should say. They got past Fleetwood, and also against Crewe and against Sutton United, so they've dispatched two League 2 teams already on the way to the fourth round. But again, given their run of form, Port Vale, they'll certainly be very nervous, and I'm sure they would have been very disappointed with the draw when it came out about a month or so ago. But we are about set for a big match night on BBC Radio Nottingham and on 5 Live Sports Extra, as we look across the pitch and see the players all set and ready for this League Cup 4th round for a place in the quarter-final, the last 8 of England's one of most prestigious cup competitions. And we do get underway as Port Vale kick from left to right. There's Conor Ripley wearing all purple in the Port Vale goal, sends it down the line, one for Tom Sang to clear. This time it's dealt with in the end by Will Swan. Nice touch in field to Davis Keeler-Dunn, although there's a player down on the deck. I think it's Ollie Clark. He got a bit of a tumble. We're trying to win the earlier ball. He landed awkwardly too. Lewis Brunt and George Maris stepping over to make sure he's okay, but it'll be an unforgiving surface as well. It's had a lot of rain on it in recent weeks, and so yeah, not the best landing from Ollie Clark.
No, it's actually it was a great header, and he's actually rode on the back of the centre forward and just landed awkwardly, just winded. He's got up and he'll get on with it.
It'll take a lot more than a winded stomach to knock Ollie Clark off his perch. He's been excellent in recent games, even though he's not wearing the captain's armband tonight. That's on the left arm of Aidan Flint. He's certainly playing like a leader as the free kick is taken short. Back to Lewis Brunt, just outside his own 18-yard box. Across he goes to Aidan Flint. Port Vale fans making plenty of noise away to our left-hand side. Good ball round the back for Will Swan. Into the channel he goes, pulls it across towards that back post. It's just gone out of play before Ollie Clark can get there. It goes out of play for a goal kick. Lovely ball from Aidan Flint.
Yeah, good start. You just put the ball in behind, ask questions of Port Vale. Look like they want to try and play a high line when there's no pressure on the ball, and great run there from Will Swan. And just unfortunate that he just couldn't pull the ball into the box, into the area where you've got 1 or 2 coming in the back post.
Nigel Clough standing below us here in this technical area. 2-time semi-finalist here in the League Cup, both of which were teams in the lower divisions, once with Burton and once with Sheffield United. As the ball is lofted over to the left-hand side, Port Vale can't seem to deal with it at the moment, and it's knocked out of play by Port Vale for a Mansfield Town throw on the halfway line. Yes, Nigel Clough guided Sheffield United to the League Cup semi-finals. They were knocked out by Spurs back in 2014-2015, and then also guided Burton Albion to the semi-finals a couple of seasons ago. They were knocked out by Manchester City 10-0 on aggregate, but he said in midweek as the ball is sent high. This time it's a lovely volley across by Lewis Reed to Jordan Bowery, who scored on Saturday. Here's Lewis Reed in the middle of the centre circle, ball round the back, plenty of spin on it as well for Will Swan to run in behind, but he ran in behind from an offside position, and it'll be a free kick to Port Vale. The mist here is slowly getting thicker and thicker, and at the moment we can still see the players and they can still see the ball, but you do hope that hopefully the mist will lift very, very soon.
Yeah, you hope so, but it makes it, for a great evening, just zippy pitch, sort of mist coming down. It's not cold, it's nice, and it's just a really good football match.
Ball forward up towards Uche Piezu, but it's intercepted by Clark, and now Port Vale have it in the middle of that part for Uche Piezu, who's got Tom Sang to his right hand side as Piezu uses his strength. Here is Tom Sang into the middle for Ben Garrett as he's rolled through. In fact, it's managed to find its way on towards Oliver Arblaster, who's done well here, and it's smashed against him, but it's gone out of play off Callum MacDonald, and it'll go out for a Port Vale corner kick, first of the night.
Yeah, have to be strong here. First corner, defend it properly, make sure you pick up in the box and make sure you clear your lines.
A corner kick then at the Quarry Lane end for Port Vale. Their fans are certainly making plenty of noise. Tom Sang ready to stand over the 24-year-old right back as he puts up a right arm, sends it into the penalty area at that near post. A diving header at the near post by Aaron Lewis, but it's come all the way back out for Port Vale with Hunzo Ojo. Here is Ojo again down the line to Tom Sang. A couple of step overs to try and get past Will Swan. Hits it against Will Swan and gets Port Vale another corner. Good bit of pressure from the Valiants.
Yeah, but good defending from Will Swan there. Was patient with his defending, didn't go to ground. It's early days. Port Vale are League One. They've got to try and impose themselves on the game, and good defensive stand up from Mansfield at the moment.
Plenty of big hitters in there, the likes of Nathan Smith, Jason Lowe. Very tall side as the corner comes in. It's flicked towards that back post and booted clear eventually by Lewis Reed, who was on the line. Just had to get something on it before it lingered there at the back post, and thankfully Mansfield Town's midfield maestro Lewis Reed could clear that one away. A teasing corner deflected to the back post and cleared away by Mansfield, but here come Port Vale again with Jason Lowe We're in bright orange boots up towards Uche Piezu again, who's looking to turn and fires it to the left-hand side for Oliver Arblaster. Here is Tom Sang, but it's booted clear by Callum MacDonald, and one for Mansfield to try and win back if they can, although Jason Lowe has it. Down the line it goes towards Arblaster, back to Jason Lowe. One of the 4 changes made by Andy Crosby, following their 2-1 defeat at home to Cheltenham. Darrell Clark's Cheltenham as well, for that matter, just to add even more spice to that game, as it's played in field to Funso Ojo. Gets past one and past another, and it's helped out to the right hand side, and it's on towards Tom Sang. Helps it back to Jesse Deborah, and here is Deborah again down the line, looking for either an Alfie Devine or another player in a white shirt, as it's on towards Uche Piezu, who does well to hold off his man as it's dinked into the channel. It's a good ball from Oliver Arblaster, and Aidan Flint had to get there and poke it out for a corner kick. Mansfield under a bit of pressure here, Craig.
Yeah, under a bit of pressure. Port Vale are controlling the football at the moment, keeping good possession, which, you know, rightly so. They're a good side. Listen, they're not in a rich vein of form by any stretch of the imagination, but they are, you know, they're in League One for a reason, and Mansfield are standing strong and defending well.
And the corner kick coming in from the right hand side, it's in towards Sang, headed in towards that back post, and this time Aidan Flint is going to try and bring it away in the mist here at the One Call Stadium. 5.5, nearly 6 minutes gone, as it's drilled all the way across for Will Swan. It's had to be dealt with in the end by Funso Ojo. Got there really well between the ball and Will Swan, and dealt with it as you'd expect him to do. Good midfielder Funso Ojo, former Belgian youth international, started his life at PSV Eindhoven, so you can see the quality he's got there.
Yeah, good calm defending there. He's seen the danger. Will Swan trying to pull on the shoulder of him, and he just brings it down with a nice bit of calm and just keeps possession, and Port Vale build again.
Long ball forward from Connor Ripley, as it's headed away by Lewis Brunt. He's gesturing to his teammates. I'm not entirely sure what he's gesturing at. I think he's saying something to Lewis Reid there.
No, so Lewis Brunt is obviously dropping the ball into the big striker, and Lewis Brunt's actually got in front of him, and then I think the striker just had a bit of a tug of his jersey and pulled him back, and the referee and linesman can't see it. He's just been impeded a little bit.
Can't see anything at the minute, but it's a cross by Davis Killardon into the on-rushing Jordan Barry. Down the right-hand side, ball into the penalty area, and then to the gloves it goes of Connor Ripley. Good teasing ball from Barry down that right hand side. Good ball from Davis Killardon to find him as well, but here come Port Vale across halfway, as it's just about dealt with by Jordan Barry, although Uche Piezu gets full-blooded from Aidan Flint. That's a really good challenge from Aidan Flint. 6'6", sends Uche Piezu flying, which takes some doing.
Yeah, good tackle there, good timing. You had to get it right, Aidan Flint. If he doesn't get that right, it certainly would have been a yellow card.
Throw coming in then from Port Vale. It's match night from BBC Radio Nottingham, and you can listen to this game on 5 Sports Extra as well. Live from the One Call Stadium, 0-0 in this League Cup 4th round tie. This time they're taking the time with this throw though, of Port Vale. Jesse Deborah standing over it and taking it down the line to Uche Piezu, who's got between Lewis Brunt and Callum MacDonald, but between them they win the ball back. Here is Jordan Barry, back to Aidan Flint, just sends that one high into the misty sky of the One Call Stadium. It's very much a case of it disappears and comes back down as Mansfield win the ball with Aaron Lewis. Down the line he goes to Davis Keeler-Dunn. He's got a couple of options with him. One of them is Jordan Barry. And here's George Maris just picking up the pieces in the middle of the pitch. Back he goes to Aidan Flint, and this time Aidan Flint looking for a crossfield ball for Callum MacDonald if he can pick him out, and this time the ball is headed away. Had to get there as well, did Sang, as Will Swan gets in past the defender, but the ball ricochets off him and into the feet of Connor Ripley. 8 gone, 0-0. Yeah,
I don't think Aidan Flint needs to actually hit that ball there. You've got MacDonald making the run. It's a big ball. It's just putting it at risk a little bit. You know, luckily enough it falls down, and Will Swan nearly gets to it first, and if he does get that first, it could have been interesting to make the referee make a decision.
Uche Piezu and Ollie Clark clash in the on the halfway line. The ball spins away for Aidan Flint just to cushion that one back to Christy Pym, penalty hero at Sheffield Wednesday and against Peterborough United. 2 saves each in both of those shootouts. Again, he's thoroughly enjoying his life here at Mansfield Town. 7 clean sheets to his name as well. 6-foot goalkeeper as he sends that one downfield as the mist gets thicker by the minute, as it's headed on towards Will Swan by Jordan Barry. This time it's cleared away up to halfway towards Aaron Lewis. 9 minutes gone, 0-0 here as the ball is played into the midfield for Alfie Devine. Plays it back to Jason Lowe. This time he goes all the way across to Jesse Deborah under pressure from Ollie Clark. Great challenge from Ollie Clark, full-blooded as well, as he goes off the field good play too. And it'll be a throw to Port Vale in front of Andy Crosby's dugout. But again, Craig, this mist, I can only describe it as, well, it's very foggy, it's getting thicker, and I'm struggling to see that far side of the pitch.
Do you want to borrow my glasses?
I don't think they'll help.
No, listen, it makes it for a great cup game.
It does, doesn't
it? Both sides, when they're getting the ball or in possession of the football, are trying to control it, and Mansfield, could maybe take one or two touches more.
Well, here goes Oliver Arblaster as he tries one goalwards. It hits the gloves of Christy Pym, and it's a comfortable gather in the end by Christy Pym at his near post. He bowls it out short to Aidan Flint. And this time across it goes to Jordan Barry. Back to Flint again, trying a high ball into the night sky. It goes, and this time the linesman puts his flag up, and it will be a throw to Port Vale. 10 minutes gone. Match night from BBC Radio Nottingham and on 5 Live Sports Extra, and it's Mansfield Town 0, Port Vale 0. But Mansfield have been under the cosh a little bit in the opening 10 minutes or so. A couple of good situations for Port Vale, but Mansfield Town themselves have caused one or two little problems as it's dinked through the gap, helm towards Uche Piezu, who heads it on for Callum McDonald to clear, which he boots over the halfway line, looking for Davis Keeler-Dunn. He's beaten to it by Jason Lowe. Lewis Brunt with the header over halfway, and it's cushioned out to the right hand side for Tom Sang. This time is Jesse Deborah down the line for Uche Piezu, up against Lewis Brunt, but Uche Piezu just brushes him off with ease as off he goes. Uche Piezu's got the better of him here. Lewis Brunt goes to ground. Here is Uche Piezu, goes down in the box. Linesman's flag goes up, and it'll be a goal kick anyway. Just couldn't quite fashion himself a chance for a cross or a low ball, but he's causing some problems as the experienced striker.
Yeah, if he plays up against Lewis Brunt, a little bit more or less experience than Aidan Flynn, he's going to be in for a tough time, but he stuck to his task. He sort of tried to use his strength to get a hold of the ball and stop him from...
Oh, Mansfield have lost it, and it's onto the edge of the area for Uche Piezu, on towards his left foot, looking to strike it. It's blocked by Brunt. This time Piezu helps it on to the left hand side for Ben Garrity. I think it's Ben Garrity over there. It might be James Plant. This time it's helped onto the edge of the box for Jason Lowe, and now Mansfield win it back. Good play again from George Maris. It's 2 versus 2. Ball play through towards Davis Keeler-Dunn down the left hand channel. He's got Will Swan in support. Here is Davis Keeler-Dunn on his left foot, but he's denied by a really good challenge from Jesse Deborah. Lift off at the One Call Stadium. Really good play from George Maris to get past 2 Port Vale players in midfield. 2v2 counter attack. He played the right ball to Davis Keeler-Dunn, and in the end it took some brilliant last stitch defending from Jesse Deborah to keep it at 0-0.
Yeah, if you want anyone in that final third, in that 1v1 position, you want Keeler-Dunn on the ball, and just unfortunate for Port Vale really that the defenders stood his ground and stayed and made a fine block. I fancy Keeler-Dunn there.
George Maris coming over with this corner kick on the left hand side in front of the Port Vale contingent here in the north stand, which again we are struggling to see as George Maris sends it in towards the back post. There is Aidan Flint, but it's headed up in the air. This time it will just about be cleared by Port Vale, although they can't quite tell really, as the ball is cleared rather cheaply for another Mansfield Town corner.
Another opportunity to put a little bit of pressure on the Port Vale goalkeeper, put it into a good area, and you've got some really good height within the Mansfield back 4, back 6, to go and attack this ball.
Corner kick coming in then from the right hand side, drilled in towards that back post. There's Aidan Flint again, but it's headed away by Jesse Deborah. This time it's picked up by Callum McDonald. Back down the line he goes to Jordan Barry. He's got Lewis Reid in support on his right shoulder. Here is Reid on halfway as Port Vale push out very quickly. Across he goes to Aaron Lewis, looking to go down the line, but he had to go all the way back to Lewis Reid. Ball sent high into the misty sky here at the One Call Stadium. Perfect for a Halloween night, perfect for trick-or-treating at the moment as it's all the way through for Port Vale. Helped on meanwhile towards Oliver Arblaster. This time Arblaster again trying to trick his way past his man, helps it on to Tom Sang down the right hand side. Ball into the penalty area. It's a good ball towards the back post, and it's headed over the top by Ben Garrity. Big chance for 1-0 to Port Vale. Great ball from Tom Sang, whipped it in from the right hand side, and Garrity got up, couldn't direct it goalwards. In fact, I beg your pardon, it was Funso Ojo who got the header, and in the end he couldn't direct it goalwards either, and it stays 0-0.
Yeah, just a little bit too high for him. Great ball in from the wide right. Just unfortunate that, or fortunate for Mansfield that he couldn't keep the header down.
Quite a scoreline going on down at St James's Park in the League Cup. Exeter City of League One are currently beating Championship side Middlesbrough by a 0-0. So a potential League Cup cup set going on there. Ryan Trevitt with the goal for the Grecians. They lead Middlesbrough by a 0-0. Meanwhile, goalless here at a very misty One Call Stadium. 14 gone The ball is with Jesse Deborah. Down the line it goes up to Uche Piezu, who's causing problems and holding play up and bringing in players the likes of Tom Sang. Down the line it goes to Oliver Arblaster on loan from Sheffield United. This time Jesse Deborah with the ball forward to Uche Piezu, looking to turn, but Ollie Clark steps in, wins it back and scoops it down the left hand side for Will Swan to try and chase, putting his man under pressure as it's helped on back to the goalkeeper Conor Ripley, who boots that one high over the halfway line, looking for Garrity. He gets the flick on, but it can go into the gloves of Christy Pym, although he decides to play it short to Lewis Brunt. League Cup 4th round night on BBC Radio Nottingham and BBC 5 Sports Extra, as it's with Lewis Brunt outside his own 18-yard box. Across he goes to Jordan Bowery. We can't see the moon, we can hardly see anything over on the far side. Normally the Mansfield Town night sky, as it were, you can see the retail park usually over the top. You can't see that, you can barely see anything really, other than, thankfully for the time being, the pitch, as it's Jordan Bowery, the ball down the line, deflects off the Port Vale man and goes out of play for a Mansfield Town throw. Mansfield, they welcome Wrexham on Saturday night in the FA Cup, part 3 of a hat-trick of programmes on BBC Radio Nottingham. I'm just going to break off though before I tell you about those, as the ball is played through to Conor Ripley. Mansfield versus Wrexham at 7:45. Before that, Notts County welcome Crawley in the FA Cup, 3 o'clock kick-off for that one, match day from 2, and so a double header of FA Cup on the Saturday, and then on Sunday Nottingham Forest welcome Aston Villa. Full live commentary of that one live from the City Ground, 2 o'clock kick-off, build up from 1. Here is Tom Sang though for Port Vale. Back in field it goes, although it's not the best ball back to him from Oliver Arblaster. This time it will go out of play for a Mansfield Town throw, taken quickly to Lewis Reed, sends it across the edge of his own 18-yard box back to Flint. Here's Christy Pym, who just scoops that one high into the night sky, goes out of play for a Port Vale throw on halfway. It's proving even more difficult to see the game, isn't it, Craig?
So it hit ball into, I don't know, was that Aidan Flint or Louis Reed, rolls the ball to Christy Pym, and I thought that was a little bit too close to the far post, and there was a bit of zip on the ball. I thought he nearly missed it. So fortunate the playing surface and
it's not the best header back, and then goes Davis Keeler-Dunn. The goalkeeper Conor Ripley had to be very quickly off his line there to head the ball away from danger. A very loose header back from Nathan Smith, and this time Conor Ripley had to get there and head that one away and out of danger, and that could set Port Vale away here on the counter-attack. Good ball into the area again from Tom Sang, dealt with by Mansfield Town, but only just. This is out towards the left-hand side for Alfie Devine. He's got a couple of players with him on the overlap, but Alfie Devine still has the ball at his feet, fires the ball in from the left-hand side. There's Uche Piezu. It's headed away by Lewis Brunt, sliced clear by Ollie Clark, missed it completely, but thankfully for the Mansfield Town captain, the ball landed right at his feet, and he can control and play it into Callum MacDonald, and Mansfield can try and go again, but those balls from the right-hand side from Tom Sang causing Mansfield Town some problems.
Yeah, they are. They've got a little bit of quality within their ranks. There's some good deliveries into good areas, and fortunately the ball's not on the money at the moment.
Here is Callum MacDonald. Mansfield trying to make it through to the quarter-finals of the League Cup for the first time since 1975, the only time in their history that they've been able to do so, as Maris plays a nice ball through to Will Swan, who stayed onside as well. Linesman keeps his flag down. Will Swan down the left-hand side, up against Jesse Deborah. It's still with Will Swan. Edge of the box, it's steered by George Maris, but he completely mishit it. The ball didn't actually go anywhere, and now the ball is up towards Uche Piezu, who runs into Callum MacDonald and gets Port Vale a free kick. Mansfield Tampans don't like that.
No, they don't. He's a handful, the big striker for Port Vale. His hold-up play is really good, which allows Port Vale to get up the pitch, and once he's popping into wider areas, he's just spinning to try and get in the box on the end of the crosses.
Well, Port Vale have had a bit of a tough spell in recent games, ever since they beat Sutton in round 3. Our colleagues at BBC Radio Stoke gave us the stat they've only had 3 shots on target in the last 8 games, which is quite remarkable really, considering Mansfield Town had 34 shots against Harrogate on last Tuesday night away from home. So again, it just shows the state that Port Vale are in at the moment, but so far they're looking very good, as it's sent high towards Uche Piezu. That'll go all the way through to Christy Pym. They can gather that one in his teal blue kit and bowls it out short to Aidan Flint. Lewis Reed wants it just outside his own 18-yard box, but Flint is going to go in towards Aaron Lewis. Here is Lewis Reed on the edge of his own 18-yard box, across to Callum MacDonald, the former Tranmere man, can. Has it down this left wing back position, but he nearly gives the ball away. In fact, he has given it away to Tom Sang, but Callum MacDonald does well to win it back. Helped in towards Tom Sang again, into the right hand channel, puts it across. Good save by Christy Pym at his near post as Maris has to turn and clear the ball away. Danger moment there for Mansfield Town, completely their own fault as the ball is skipped through on towards Garrity, on towards Funso Ojo. And thankfully Mansfield Town come away with the ball, but a horror moment for Callum MacDonald, and Mansfield were nearly punished. Good save from Pym.
Yeah, MacDonald had a chance just to put the ball down the line. He's had a look, he didn't think anything was on, and he's took a bit of a risk, tried to turn inside, and the ball was took off his toes, and fortunately Mansfield got away with one there.
Mansfield Town have it with Maris in the middle of the park. Here's Jordan Barry, tries to turn that one forward for Will Swan or Davis Keeler-Dunn, could find neither as it's back out again in the Port Vale back three with Conor Ripley in goal. Here he is as he sends that one through. Oh dear, that's a horrible ball from Conor Ripley, straight between Tom Sang and Jesse Deborah. Both of them give him a horrible death stare, and Mansfield Town will have a throw, but again, not a good moment there from the goalkeeper.
No, not a great moment, but he's at least he's put the ball out of play and not put it into Mansfield's feet for a Port Vale point of view. But again, Mansfield just got to be a little bit patient. I still think they're trying to go a little bit long at times, and have that extra touch when they need to, and just be patient with the build-up.
The throw didn't work for Mansfield Town, and so it'll be a Port Vale throw to be taken by Tom Sang. 20 minutes gone here, match night from BBC Radio Nottingham and on 5 Sports Extra as well. 0-0 in this League Cup 4th round tie between Mansfield Town and Port Vale. Port Vale, the side that beat Mansfield at Wembley back in May 2022. A 3-0 defeat it was, and one that Ollie Clark and Nigel Clough weren't too keen on talking about when I spoke to them in midweek, because Ollie Clark, speaking of, trips up a Port Vale man in midfield, Fonso Ojo. He goes to ground and it'll be a free kick to Port Vale, and again another opportunity for them to put the ball in Mansfield Town's penalty area.
It's going to be an interesting game. Port Vale want to actually get the ball down and pass and play, and they've got some really good tidy footballers on the football pitch, so it's going to be a battle of who comes out on top playing the best football.
There's James Plant, a 19-year-old product from the Port Vale Academy, as the ball is nearly played through by Ben Garrity as Mansfield look to go again. Played in field to Ollie Clark, takes a touch, hits it against Aaron Lewis, it spins off him, couldn't get out of the way quick enough as it's back in the middle of midfield. This time it's all the way back in the Port Vale defence with Jesse Deborah, the former Halifax man, started his life at Millwall, has to go all the way back though to the goalkeeper in Conor Ripley, under pressure as he drills that one through the middle. Lewis Brunt takes a touch, nice touch, and plays it through to George Maris on halfway, who's had it nicked off him, but Maris will try and slide in, but Port Vale win it back and they can burst through here if they can, as Uche Piezu wants it through the middle, but he's gone right towards Tom Sang. Ball into the area, there is Uche Piezu, he's volleyed goalwards and hits the outside of the post and goes out of play for a goal kick. Good ball into the area again from Tom Sang, missed by Uche Piezu, and Port Vale centre forward just volleyed it towards Christy Pym's right hand post. It just clips the outside of it and goes out of play for a goal kick. Big opportunity again.
Just sloppy play at the moment from Mansfield Town. They seem to try and get the foot on the ball and try and be integrating tight areas and just not coming off and losing possession. And Port Vale have got some really good quality in wide areas, and balls are coming in and they're putting it into the danger, and fortunately again Mansfield get away with one.
Christy Pym then with that goal kick boots it high into the misty skies of Mansfield Town. I know I keep saying it, but I can't stress enough just how misty it is here at the One Call Stadium. Ball played over the top for Uche Piezu, who I think he felt he would have been offside had he got there. Christy Pym was very quick off his line anyway. 22 gone, 0-0 as the ball played around the back looking for Davis Keeler-Dunn, headed away easily this time by Jesse Deborah. Here's Tom Sang down the right hand side. He's proven a bit of a thorn, although he gives the ball away into the midfield for Lewis Reed, helps it square to Aaron Lewis, and off goes Jordan Bowery down the right hand side. Can barely see him as it's sent into the channel for Aaron Lewis, just in front of the scoreboard as it's back out to Jordan Bowery. Bowery back with Aaron Lewis down that right hand side, looking to fire in across where he can. It's not quite dealt with. Shouts for handball as Nathan Smith collapsed on top of the ball as he just about dealt with it, and it came away for Mansfield Town once again. Here is Lewis Brunt on halfway, the Leicester City loanee, scored his first goal for the club against Harrogate a week ago tonight. Just back with Callum MacDonald. MacDonald down the line as he helps it off Tom Sang. Another play that will go for a Mansfield Town throw. Midway inside the first half, 0-0. Your thoughts on it so far, Craig?
Yeah, just been a little bit sloppy at times. Both teams want to try and play football. At the moment, Port Vale are actually getting the foot on the ball and getting ball into good areas and putting them into dangerous areas in the box. Where Mansfield at the moment, every time a ball goes into midfield, one or two too many touches, turning over possession, and just being a little bit sloppy with the ball. I just think they need to take a little bit more care. Don't have to be so impatient to put the ball forward, Jake, and if they can build and sort of build from the back and be a little bit more patient like they usually can, I think spaces will start to open up for them.
At the moment, Port Vale are looking much better on the ball, whereas Mansfield Town, like you were saying, Craig, they do look like they're a little bit nervous when they try and get the ball forward very quickly too, as the ball is headed away and out of play for a Port Vale throw.
I wouldn't say nervous, I just think they look a little bit impatient with trying to get the ball forward and try and get the ball in behind. And when you're missing someone like Lucas Akins who can get a hold of the ball, Will Swan's making some really good runs, but you've got to get bodies up and around him, and it's a bit difficult to do that at the moment.
The ball spins away by Jesse Deborah, flicked on towards Uche Piezu, who's ball forward. It's left by Aidan Flint, and Christy Pym had to scamper off his line very quickly and gather that one, and in the end he can just maybe take the sting out of the game a little bit. He's had a couple of saves to make, has Christy Pym. Meanwhile, Conor Ripley in the other goal hasn't had a great deal to do. Probably the best chance of the game fell to Davis Keeler-Dunn after a good ball from George Maris. As this time Christy Pym's kick goes straight out of play for another Port Vale throw. There's been a few of those tonight, unfortunately, Craig Armstrong. I can only say it might just be that the mist, that might be a bit of a factor in that one.
Well, we can use that as an excuse if we need to.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Throw coming in then for Port Vale, thrown short to James Plant. This time he sends it all the way across to the right hand side for Jesse Deborah, who takes a touch and helps it on to Tom Sang, looking for the run in midfield of Oliver Arblaster, but he has to go all the way back to Jason Lowe, experienced centre half, former Salford and Blackburn man too, as it's sent high, one for Will Swan, try and chase as it's headed on, and it's not the best header back towards Conor Ripley, who can just turn and fire that one back down to Nathan Smith. Between them they just about get out of a very sticky situation, but Mansfield applying the press and trying to win the ball back, but it's sent across to Jesse Deborah. This time ball rolled through, nice ball towards Oliver Arblaster, who turns on a sixpence again to try and get past Ollie Clark. Not entirely sure where he was going there. I think he was looking to go in the middle of the park, looking for Funso Ojo if he could, but as it is, Port Vale still have it down the right hand side. They don't have it for long though, because it's a poor ball in midfield, well won by Callum MacDonald, and back it goes via Lewis Reed to Christy Pym in goal. Match night from BBC Radio Nottingham. Match day back with you on Saturday, an FA Cup double header. Mansfield Town welcome Wrexham on Saturday night, a 7:45 kick-off. Before that though, we will have Notts County versus Crawley in the FA Cup first round, 3 o'clock kick-off for them with build-up from 2, and then on Sunday Nottingham Forest welcome Aston Villa to the City Ground, full live commentary from there, and build up from 1 o'clock on match day from BBC Radio Nottingham, as it's back in field again by Port Vale, just outside the centre circle. High ball looking for Tom Sang. And this one, it's dealt with by Callum MacDonald, just gives him a bit of a shove in the shoulder, and that one goes all the way through to Christy Pym in the Mansfield Town goal. Ball played through by Aidan Flint, nice ball to Aaron Lewis, back out to Jordan Barry down the right hand side. You can hear the Port Vale fans and the drum going at the away end. It's a sold out away end, and at the moment Mansfield Town are trying to respond to generate some atmosphere of their own here, but it's just gone a little bit quiet around the One Call Stadium. There's a sense of a bit of tension in the air as Aaron Lewis Lewis Reed has to go all the way back to Christy Pym. This time it's dinked out towards the right hand side for Jordan Barry, takes it on the chest, hooks it past his man. This time Flint with a big boot up in the air down the right hand side. It's dealt with by Port Vale, and again, every time Port Vale get hold of it, they do look good on the ball, don't they, Craig Armstrong?
Yeah, balls Port Vale are pressing really, really well at times. As soon as the ball gets played back to Aidan Flint, he's got nothing on, he's trying to put it in behind, and they're just picking up every second ball at the moment. They just seem to be playing on the front foot, a bit more confident in possession. For a team that hasn't had many shots on target, haven't picked up many points, certainly bringing the game to Mansfield.
The ball spins away off the back in towards Jamie Devine, who gets into the penalty area, and it's still with Alfie Devine. It curls it goalwards, and it's deflected off the headband of Aidan Flint and goes out of play for a corner kick. Alfie Devine twisting and turning on the edge of the box, just trying to curl that one in towards the far post, and Aidan Flint, right place, right time, just had to glance that one away for a fourth corner of the night to Port Vale.
Yeah, it was good defending from really good play from Alfie Devine. Good trickery, good feet in tight areas. He's just drifted inside, coming on his left foot, tried to put it into Chrissy Pym's far right hand corner, and Aidan Flint stood his ground and headed out for a corner.
On loan from Spurs is Alfie Devine, 19 years old. He scored actually against Cheltenham as the corner comes in towards that back post, headed across, and it's not quite dealt with by Mansfield Town. Christy Pym has to smother it, and he just about gets on top of it and stops that one from going over the line. But that corner causing a few problems. It was allowed to bounce, it bobbled around, and thankfully Mansfield Town's shot stopper was on hand just to keep hold of it and make sure it went no further than the goal line.
Yeah, it was just trying to calm things down. I've seen the manager come out his dugout a couple of times when the ball's gone back to Christy Pym and he's put the ball in. It's all what you would class put the ball at risk, and putting the ball and turning over possession. Doesn't need to. Just wants, I think, him to play the ball out and be calm with it.
Ball across towards Jordan Barry by George Maris, and Barry's going to try and get in here, but Ben Garrity has beaten him to the ball. Still with Garrity in the penalty area, still with Garrity, strikes it goalwards, it deflects through, and this time Christy Pym can get equal to it, but again Garrity had the whole of the left hand side to run into, tried to get there ahead of Barry. He did get there, charged into the area, the momentum took him past a couple of Mansfield Town players, and thankfully he ran out of steam and let off a tame shot in the end, which Christy Pym was comfortable with.
Yeah, again, just Mansfield in possession of the football. So I think it was Maris who switched the play out to, it might have been Barry, or I'm not sure who it was, and it's just a poor ball and headed back into a dangerous area, which allows Port Vale to counter-attack.
Well, Mansfield Town looking to launch a counter-attack of their own. Good ball around the side for Will Swan, just had it nicked away from him by Nathan Smith, and it'll guard a play for Mansfield Town's third corner of the evening, which I think Davis Keeler-Dunn is going to jog over and take. We know what his set pieces are like, especially at Notts County. Two of them landed on the head of Aidan Flint and Bailey Cargill, so we'll see what can be made of this one. It's still with Davis Keeler-Dunn, who fires that one towards the back post. Unfortunately for that one, that lands on the head of Jesse Deborah, but he glances that one away, and out of play for a Mansfield Town throw deep in Port Vale territory. Half an hour gone, Mansfield Town 0, Port Vale 0. Match night from BBC Radio Nottingham and on BBC 5 Sports Extra. This League Cup fourth round tie at the moment. Port Vale have had the better of the chances. Pym has been forced into a couple of saves, and Mansfield Town are trying to end the half on a high if they can. 15 to go before the break as it's headed away from this throw, as it's going to drop down to Aaron Lewis, plays it back out to Lewis Reed, fires that one into the penalty area. Oh, and the volley, brilliant save from Conor Ripley. A volley from Davis Keeler-Dunn, the person that he wanted to fall to, and he struck it beautifully, and it went straight at Conor Ripley, who just had to react, wave his arms around and palm that one away, and in the end the chance goes begging for Mansfield Town, but the one player who wants it to fall to is Davis Keeler-Dunn. Couldn't have caught it any sweeter either side of the goalkeeper. That's 1-0.
Yeah, definitely. What a great strike from Keeler-Dunn. Ball there, I think it was from Lewis. He just rolls the ball back to Louis Reed. Louis Reed just puts the ball in a really good area. Keeler-Dunn between two players. Great volley, any side, left or right side of the goalkeeper, into the ground. It's 1-0. And against the run of play, but just shows that Mansfield have got good quality when they can get the ball into good areas.
The ball is back with Christy Pym inside his own half, but like we said before, Mansfield will get chances, they will cause problems. They've had so many opportunities in previous games, but again the chances have come few and far between tonight against a very resilient and very good on the ball Port Vale side. Here is Callum MacDonald bringing the ball out in front of him. He's looking for an option, doesn't get one though, has to go back to Lewis Brunt, and back across he goes. It's Callum MacDonald, nice turn from Davis Keeler-Dunn, finding Ollie Clark. Good ball down the line for Keeler-Dunn. It's just about half a foot in front of him, and it goes out of play for a Port Vale throw, but that chance for Keeler-Dunn has just given the One Call Stadium a bit of a lift.
Yeah, that was more positive. Really good possession, pattern of play. Ball into MacDonald, plays the ball into a forward area, just flick round the corner. Keeler-Dunn tries to go for the return, just runs out of play. You can see the manager was happy with that passage of play, and just showing a little bit more confidence. If they get the ball down, try and play through the thirds instead of going long and trying to put balls in behind where they're not going to win possession or turn over possession. I think the manager's happy. I think Nigel will be very, very disappointed for the first 30 minutes of this game, where he thinks that we've turned over possession too easily, ball just going into forward areas too soon, and I think that's not what he wants. He talks about wanting to play football, and it's about getting the ball down and playing football in the right areas.
Ball up towards Uche Piezu, dealt with by Lewis Brunt and Callum McDonald between them as Davis Keeler-Dunn tried to pluck the ball out of the air. It came from a great height, a great distance, just couldn't quite get it under his spell. Goes out of play for a Port Vale throw deep inside their own half, but the Mansfield Town fans making plenty of noise away to our left-hand side in Q Block. Again, as Port Vale fans have sort of been stunned into silence a little bit, because Mansfield Town have slowly grown back into this game after a long bit of possession for Port Vale, as the ball is thrown long into the middle of midfield. It's dealt with though by Port Vale as Mansfield Town try and win it back through Davis Keeler-Dunn. Here's Jesse Debrett, centre half, as he fires that one downfield looking for Uche Piezu, but it's headed away by Aidan Flynn. Gives the ball away to Fonso Ojo, who turns past one and past another, rolls that one through to Uche Piezu. Still got it, and this time it's helped on to Fonso Ojo. Couldn't quite keep it in play, although it has gone off a Mansfield Town player for a Port Vale throw. Here is Tom Sang, has it hit against Ollie Clark, and it goes out of play again for another Port Vale throw. Just one or two moments there down the line as Mansfield Town just telling the referee that the throw was certainly not that far deep in Mansfield Town's half, and Tom Bramwell rightly so telling Tom Sang to get a little bit further back, as Sang is taking his time with the throw. A bit of a scrap going on here between Ollie Clark and Oliver Arblaster. The battle of the Ollies going on, but at the moment the ball's cleared and Mansfield Town will have another throw to defend, but 10 minutes to go, or just over 10 minutes to go before half time. Craig, good spell for Mansfield Town in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, it's just brought them back into the game slightly. Port Vale seem to have dominated a lot of possession, looked more threatening in the final third, getting balls into really good areas, and that opportunity for Keeler-Dunn has just given Mansfield a little bit of impetus to try and take the game to Port Vale.
There's Alfie Devine on loan from Spurs. Out wide it goes to James Plant. The mist still lingering over the One Call Stadium. It's difficult to tell whether it's lifted a bit. I can see a bit more of the pitch, so maybe it's on its way out, thankfully, on this Halloween night. Been treated to a good game so far, but at the moment no goals between the two, as it's helped on to Tom Sang down the right hand side. Has it hit against him, and it looked like it had gone out of play. Nigel Clough certainly thinks so. Nothing doing by the referee as Lewis Brunt gets the better of Uche Piezu. This time it's flicked on by Callum McDonald. Ollie Clark with the flick on. Here's Davis Keeler-Dunn, but it's behind George Maris. Nigel Clough doing star jumps in his technical areas. Here come Port Vale with Fonso Ojo trying to get past George Maris, who did well just to wiggle away from the Mansfield Town midfielder. Did Fonso Ojo, used his experience and his strength and his knowledge as well. And this time it's a nice little turn in midfield from James Plant, 19-year-old. Out wide it goes to Ben Garrity, still with James Plant. He turns and gets past. That's a bit of a trip in the end from George Maris, and Port Vale will have a free kick midway inside the Mansfield Town half.
Yeah, just silly free kicks in poor areas doesn't help, and it allows Port Vale to put a bit more pressure on the Mansfield.
And Mansfield win it back quickly through Aaron Lewis. Here's George Maris looking for an option as he plays it down the line for the energetic Will Swan, who's kept it in play down that right hand side. Swan with an early ball in the area at that near post. Colin Ripley underneath it, gathers it on the edge of his 6-yard box, and in the end the chance comes to nothing. But again, a great opportunity for Mansfield Town. Good ball down the line for Will Swan. Used his pace, his energy, his tenacity, and the first time ball safely into the gloves of Conor Ripley.
It would have been interesting if Will Swan had actually screw-whiffed his cross there and hit it with the outside of his right foot, because the goalkeeper was very, very brave that he stood on his 6-yard box to collect that.
Lewis Brunt steps in and wins the ball back, but only concedes a throw in the process. It was a lovely touch from Tom Sang as well to get past his man down the right hand side. Sang with the throw down that right, Upton field to Oliver Arblaster on loan from Sheffield United. Played a couple of championship games last season on their way to promotion back to the Premier League, but it will be another throw for Port Vale. 0-0 here at the One Call Stadium in the League Cup 4th round match night from BBC Radio Nottingham and on 5 Sports Extra, as it's helped on towards Uche Piezu, who turns past his man. Ball across the face of goal, dealt with at the near post only just, and it goes out of play for a corner kick. Sent plenty of power behind it, did Uche Piezu, who did well to turn on the edge of the 18-yard box, powered it into the penalty area, and in the end it was just a sandwich of attackers and defenders at that near post, and it comes off for a Port Vale corner kick. We'll get Craig's thoughts on that in just a moment, but it will be a corner to Port Vale, their 5th of the evening. Tom Sang standing over it, 24-year-old right wing back, as he fires that one into the penalty area at that near post. It's flicked away. It might just be stabbed away as Will Swan can try and get there. He nicks it away from his man, but not far enough, as off goes Nathan Smith. Lost that one into the penalty area, and that one should be dealt with by Mansfield as it's booted high into the Mansfield Town sky and dealt with by Port Vale, but only as far as Tom Sang. And this time it's a really good header by Callum MacDonald. Had to get there, but the ball down the line brings in Uche Biezu, and Callum MacDonald is out of position here. He's just about got back as Uche Biezu with a couple of step overs to try and get past his man. This time it's all the way back into the penalty area. Corner coming in and headed over his own crossbar by Aidan Flint as Port Vale again apply even more pressure on the Mansfield Town goal.
Yeah, the big striker at the moment is causing all sorts of problems. He's been allowed to come off centre halves and get the ball into feet too easily, and he's so strong and big and no one can get around him, and he's just been able to link the play, and it's allowing balls to get played into wide areas and balls coming in the box, just putting Mansfield under extreme pressure at the moment.
Corner kick to Port Vale then, to be taken by Tom Sang. Sixth corner of the night at the Quarry Lane end. Right arm goes up, that ball into the box at the near post. It's glanced up in the air, not dealt with by Mansfield Town as it's just about headed down. It might fall for a white shirt in the form of Port Vale, but thankfully for the Stags it was booted clear by Will Swan. This time Conor Ripley has to charge all the way off his line and bring that one forward for Fonso Ojo, 32-year-old central midfielder, the Belgian. Started his life at PSV Eindhoven. He actually scored in the last round against Sutton United at Vale Park to get them here for the fourth round for the first time since 2006. It's helped on by George Maris. This time he turns and tries to wiggle away, but he's lost it to Tom Sang. Here's Uche Biezu again as George Maris scrambles in to try and win it back and concedes a free kick out of pure eagerness, really, I think, to win the ball back, and Nigel Clough won't be happy with that. A free kick conceded within shooting distance, maybe a Mansfield Town's goal, but this is shaped for an out-swinging cross at that back post.
Yeah, just a little bit of desperation from Maris there. No, he's not had the brightest of starts within the game. A lot of turnover of possession, not just from him but from many Mansfield Town players, and he's just been a bit loose in that possession there, and he's just tried to win the ball back and he's gone to ground, and that's something that Nigel will not be happy with, conceding free kicks, especially with the danger of and the quality that Port Vale has shown at the moment.
Well, some fireworks going off somewhere around Mansfield, yet to see them though because of the mist over North Nottinghamshire, but a free kick it will be to Port Vale. 5 to go before half time. Tom Sang standing over at 35 yards from goal or so, sends that one into the penalty area. It's not quite dealt with. It might fall for a Port Vale man though in the box. Chance for handball as it's dealt with by Davis Keeler-Dunn, and now Will Swan might try and get there ahead of Jason Lowe. Challenge coming in though on Will Swan, who's writhing in pain on the deck. The challenge came in as Will Swan was waiting for the ball to come to him. In went Jason Lowe, experienced centre half, certainly left one in there on Will Swan by the looks of it, but it's Swan thankfully is back on his feet, and he might actually get an opportunity here to keep the ball in play down the right hand side, as it's a couple of boos for him. Port Vale fans think maybe he got up a bit too quickly after that.
Yeah, I thought it was a really well-timed tackle, and Will Swan I think just should have dealt with the ball, maybe stepped onto it and not allowed it to try and run past him, and allowed again Port Vale to make the tackle.
Christy Pym with the long kick forward, goes over the halfway line but headed away by Nathan Smith. This time it's flicked on to Ben Garrity, who gets the return flick on towards Arblaster. It's helped on to Tom Sang as he come forward again down the right hand side. That's the main avenue for productivity for Port Vale at the moment as Tom Sang cuts in on towards his left foot. He's looking for the on the overlap is Jesse Deborah, whose ball into the area is over Pym, well nearly over Pym. He gathered it ahead of Uche Biezu and can boot that one downfield for Will Swan to try and chase between two Port Vale defenders. Headed away though by Jason Lowe up towards George Maris, who tries to win the ball back, and this time Aaron Lewis, and no idea how James Plant came away with the ball there, but at the moment Port Vale are ending the half the better side here. It's 0-0, but here come Port Vale again with Garrity driving into the penalty area, still with Garrity on towards his right foot, just had it nicked away from him. It might fall for Uche Biezu, who took a touch, might have been better shooting really, Uche Biezu, as the ball fell to him in the 18-yard box. Port Vale win it back, edge the area again, this time it's on towards Alfie Devine, still with Devine as he tries to thread that one through, up towards Uche Biezu, still with it as he fires that one goalwards. It goes high of Christy Pym's goal, high and wide, and that actually goes all the way through into Mez's shed over on that far side there, and again an opportunity for Port Vale to cause Mansfield Town problems, and at the moment Mansfield can't seem to get out of their own half.
Yeah, for a team that's been struggling in League One, they don't certainly look like that tonight. For me they've been every bit the better side in all departments. They've picked up every single second ball, balls into strikers, they're all around it, they're nipping off toes and just causing Mansfield all sorts of problems. And when they've got the ball, they're actually building and maintaining possession and keeping, the momentum with the side.
Ball drops to Nathan Smith, who just happens to roll that one back to Conor Ripley in the Port Vale goal. That's the voice of former Stags defender Craig Armstrong with us on BBC Radio Nottingham. Match night with you from the One Call Stadium. You can also hear this game on BBC 5 Live Sports Extras. The ball is spun away by Oliver Arblaster. And George Maris, I think for him that might be one foul too many, and he might go into the referee's notebook, or maybe not. He might just get a talking to, and that might be a case of one more and you're going in the book.
Yeah, Maris has just had a really, really tough time. He's a talented player, and at the moment it's just things aren't going so well for him. Because they're not going so well for him, he's now trying to do things that isn't in his makeup, that type of thing, tackling, and what you want is Maris on the ball in good areas higher up the pitch so he can try and create opportunities.
Yeah, well, he's meant to be in the 10, but at the moment, given Port Vale's attacking in this first half, George Maris and a lot of Mansfield Town players have been forced a lot further back, and at the moment it's Davis Keeler-Dunn and Will Swan are the only outlet for them at the moment, as Aaron Lewis tries to keep that one in play, and in doing so he handled that, and it's going to be a free kick to Port Vale. 90 seconds to go before half time. I can't imagine we'll have too much by way of stoppages because we haven't really had any of note. But going into the break, Craig, what we've made the opening 45 minutes, Port Vale certainly by the looks of it have been the better side, better on the ball, but Mansfield themselves have had chances.
Yeah, Mansfield have had chances, and what you have got is you've got a side that are still showing resilience and good character, that they are trying to keep the ball out the back of the net. You've had a couple of opportunities where people are putting their bodies in the way, they're trying to make things happen, they're trying to compete, and I'm sure when they get in half time and they get a rollicking from the manager and maybe one or two changes are made and tweaks to the formation, I think Mansfield, you'll see a better side second half.
Well, we shall see. We've got about 45 seconds to go before half time. Elsewhere in the League Cup fourth round, Exeter City still beating Middlesbrough by a 0-0, an early goal in the first half from Trevitt, giving Exeter City the lead over Championship side Middlesbrough. Plenty of games coming up tomorrow in the League Cup, followed by the draw for the quarter-final, and hopefully Mansfield Town will be in there, fingers crossed. But at the moment they're being held at home by Port Vale, and they've looked the better side, have the Valiants on the ball. Down the right hand side it goes to Tom Sang, who's been the standout player really for Port Vale, seen a lot of the ball down that right hand side, but Maris steps in and keeps hold of it and gets away from Uche Piezu, helps it on to Jordan Barry. And down the line he goes to Aaron Lewis, looking for a return ball was Barry, didn't get it though as it's sent all the way across to Lewis Brunt. We're going to have 1 minute of additional time at the end of this first half. Callum MacDonald meanwhile has it for Mansfield Town. Back it goes to Lewis Brunt, high curling left footed ball as it's helped on by Jesse Deborah, but it only gives the ball away to George Maris. This time it's with Jordan Barry down the right hand side, just over halfway. Here's Maris again in the middle of the park, and this time Lewis Reed picks it up, switches the ball, nice ball towards the left hand side for Callum MacDonald. Maybe Mansfield Town can finish the half in style as the ball into the penalty area, dealt with by Port Vale. Mansfield will get a throw deep inside Port Vale territory.
What we haven't seen, and what I've all through the season, is Louis Reed on the ball enough. You get a Louis Reed on the ball, Lincoln with the two centre backs, he dictates and he controls games of football, and at the moment he's not being allowed that.
Here's Davis Keeler-Dunn. I think Steve McLaughlin said the exact same thing on Saturday during the Walsall game when Lewis Reed gets on the ball. Mansfield Town just seemed to click a lot more. Here is Aidan Flint on the ball, and his ball given away. The ball is going to be sent high, but it won't get that far over the halfway line because the referee blows the half-time whistle, and we go in at the break in this League Cup fourth round tie 0-0 as Mansfield Town walk off the pitch. Port Vale, one or two players jogging off the pitch, but a smattering of applause from the Mansfield Town fans around us here. You can imagine they'll be relatively pleased with how they've dealt with Port Vale at times, but you'd imagine that they would have wanted to have seen more from their team going forward.
Yeah, of course they would have, and that's only because Mansfield are 19 games unbeaten, creating chance week after week and scoring lots of goals and not conceding many goals, and they come up against a side that are really struggling in League One. Like you said, haven't had any shots on target in the last 8 games. games and are really struggling to create any opportunity. And they've been a side that have dominated this game, that in possession, chances created all throughout the game. So the fans are going to be disappointed, but one thing that you've seen again is maybe over the years you would have seen Mansfield capitulate a little bit more and concede, and you've seen character. You're still seeing the character of Aidan Flynn putting bodies on the line. Lewis Brunt trying to stick to his task against the big centre forward because he's a handful. They're a good side, and I think Mansfield, will get a bit of a shakedown at half time for the manager. I'm sure he'll make one or two changes, and I think you'll see a totally different side this second half.
Port Vale surprised you a bit, given their form coming into this one?
Well, yes, they have, but they've always been a really good footballing side, and they've got some really talented footballers. Art Blaster and Devine have stood out for me, and the boy from PSV, who's it?
Alfonso Ojo.
I think he's been very, very good. They're obviously playing with the back three. The left side centre back, the right side centre back step forward. He drops in as a deep line in centre midfield, the sort of centre half, and he's sort of orchestrating things. He's a really, really talented footballer. I think they've got good footballers all around, and with a big centre forward up top who's getting a hold of it in Ikapizo, is it? He's been a handful, and Aidan Flynn, 6'5" of him, is having trouble along with Lewis Brunt.
When we look up at the chance that Mansfield Town created, both of them fell to the player that you want them to ball to, and Davis Keeler done that volley either side of the goalkeeper, and Mansfield would have led that game. It was a brilliant ball from Lewis Reed, wasn't it? And he couldn't have connected with it any better.
And that's the danger that Mansfield brings. They can create and they can score goals. And yes, they'll be disappointed in the way they've started. Not started. I just think that they've just not been able to get a foothold in the game, because Port Vale are a good side. And yes, there's a lot at stake at this, and you could talk about history and etc. But Mansfield are up against a really, really good side, and let's take the stats out of it. I'm certain that it isn't going to be a 0-0 at any stretch of the imagination. I think there will be goals in this game, and I'd like to think Mansfield can come out second half and show what they're capable of.
Well, fingers crossed for goals in the second half. More from Craig Armstrong very shortly. First half pretty much played in Mansfield Town's own half. A couple of chances for Port Vale, a couple of good saves from Christy Pym to keep it at 0-0. One at the other end for Davis Keeler Dunn, denied by a really good save from Connor Ripley, but set for another enthralling second half in this League Cup fourth round tie. But at the break, it's Mansfield Town 0, Port Vale 0. Well, thank you very much, Colin. Welcome back to the One Call Stadium. I've just got to quickly mention my sympathies for one of the ground staff here in the who's helping sort out the pitch just before half time, because Bailey Cargill sent a long crossfield ball all the way over just during while the players were having a bit of a warm up, and it landed on top of his head, and he got a big wave from the crowd. So I'm sure he's okay. Headed that one away.
Do you think that was ironic just because it was probably the best pass of the night?
No,
not like that.
Control wasn't quite standard, but there we go. So yes, welcome back. One Call Stadium for this League Cup fourth round tie. Mansfield 0, Port Vale 0. After a first half which was pretty much spent in Mansfield Town's half. Mansfield had a couple of chances. Davis Keeler Dunn with the best of them, but Christy Pym certainly the busier of the two goalkeepers. And so we are 45 minutes away from seeing if Mansfield Town can make it through to the quarter-finals of the League Cup for the first time in 48 years, as the long ball for Mansfield Town doesn't quite come off for them, and it goes out of play for a Port Vale goal kick. So Mansfield Town have made one change from the side that beat Walsall 2-1 at the weekend. No Lucas Akins, and so Will Swan comes in, and he's up front alongside Davis Keeler Dunn. Pym is in goal with Jordan Bowery, Aidan Flint, Lewis Brunt and Callum McDonald the back four. Aaron Lewis, Lewis Reed, Ollie Clark and George Maris the midfield four in a diamond. Will Swan and Davis Keeler Dunn up top. For Port Vale, as a long kick from Connor Ripley goes forward, it is Connor Ripley in goal. Nathan Smith, Jesse Deborah and Jason Lowe the back three, as the ball is back with Connor Ripley again. This time he boots that one clear over halfway. Midfield, we've got James Plant, Oliver Arblaster, Alfonso Ojo and Tom Sang. Midfield four and a front three of Alfie Devine, Uche Piezu and Ben Garrity up top. Plenty of quality in this Port Vale side, as we've seen already in the first half. Craig Armstrong, although there is a player down for Mansfield Town. I think, looking at it, it might well be who was it? I think it might be Aidan Flint, actually. Yeah, he takes some beating to get to the floor, but thankfully he's okay and back on his feet.
Yeah, it was Pizzo just as the ball's up and under in the air. Aidan Flint goes head the ball, and he just doesn't even look at the ball. He just challenges and barges into it and draws the free kick, but leaves Aidan Flint a little bit wounded.
Jordan Barry plucks the ball out of the air beautifully. Onto his chest it goes as Aidan Flint plays it on round the back for Davis Keeler-Dunn, who turns and feeds it into Jordan Bowery. Shouts for handball. The flag goes up from the official on this near side a little bit later than what Davis Keeler-Dunn would have liked on the Mansfield Town fans, and it'll be a free kick to Port Vale as the ball was played through. I think looking for Davis Keeler-Dunn, maybe he just strayed offside, but an interesting one from the official on this near side. Wasn't too sure. Yeah,
it was very interesting, because if the flag didn't go up, Louis Reid played a great ball in. I think it was to Ollie Clark, who made a run and wasn't picked up, and I think Port Vale were very fortunate there.
Well, Mansfield Town, they beat Grimsby, they've beaten Sheffield Wednesday, and they've beaten Peterborough United to get here. A team from each league around them and above them. All that's left to tick off is one from the Premier League. Maybe that'll come in the next round should they get there, as Jordan Barry has it down the line on towards Aaron Lewis. Nice back heel as Barry battles away, tussling away with Ben Garrity. This time the ball booted clear by Nathan Smith, had to get there as well, but Barry and Garrity were properly tugging at each other's shirts, and a proper winger versus defender tussle down that right hand side, and Jordan Barry looked like he won that one. He wins the throw and takes it short. Davis Keeler-Dunn drops the shoulder, does Jordan Barry. Ball into the area, near post, into the gloves of Connor Ripley, but the power and the pace of Jordan Barry down the right hand side was causing problems there.
Yeah, I think what the fans were complaining about is Jordan Barry plays the ball down the line and he's being tracked by the Port Vale player. The ball's nowhere near him. It's actually, there's another defender getting to the ball. He's just stopping him from getting to it.
The ball through, looking for Ben Garrity. Back it goes to Nathan Smith on halfway. In turn looks for Fonso Ojo, 32-year-old central midfielder. This time Connor Ripley with a high crossfield ball to the right hand side. That's over everybody, and that one will go out of play for a Mansfield Town throw. That one goes into the depths of Bishop Street. 48 gone, 0-0. Match night from BBC Radio Nottingham and on 5 Sports Extra also. League Cup 4th round tie for a place in the quarter-finals. Port Vale have never been there. Mansfield Town have only been there once in their history. They were beaten by Manchester City 4-2 at Main Road in December of 1975. Of course, they can't get Man City in this next round because they were already knocked out of this competition by Newcastle. So might be a case of Manchester United, Liverpool or Arsenal or someone like that, or maybe Exeter City, who knows, if they're lucky, if they beat Middlesbrough, which at the moment they are doing. Exeter 1, Middlesbrough 0. Meanwhile here, goalless as it's booted up in the air by Fonso Ojo. One for Uche Piesu to try and get past Lewis Bruntz, who were in the mist once again, which seems to time itself well because we barely had any of it over the half-time interval. This time, meanwhile, the ball looking for Davis Keeler-Dunn. Connor Ripley off his line, volleys that one into the midfield, maybe to Aaron Lewis, but it's dealt with by Lewis Reid, and now off goes Alfie Devine. He's got a couple of players with him, although Alfie Devine might go on his own here, strikes it goalwards and it's deflected and it's gone in. Alfie Devine just ran all the way through midfield. Mansfield Town watched him glide through and he let fly from the edge of the penalty area. It took a nick on its way through past Christy Pym and it nestles into the bottom corner. We have our first goal in this League Cup 4th round tie, and it's gone to the Valiants. It's Mansfield Town 0, Port Vale 1.
Yeah, Mansfield started, first 3-4 minutes really well, trying to take the game to Port Vale. Ball goes forward, drops down into an area where Louis Reid actually tries to get there before it bounces, just to cut out any danger. Alfie Devine picks up the second ball, drives forward with it, really good touch on his right foot. This is a really good finish. Gave Christy Pym no chance.
Again, it was struck so hard and it took a little nick on its way through, just sort of send Christy Pym. I mean, Christy Pym couldn't really do a lot about that. It was bottom corner bound either way, but the fact that it took a nick on its way through just made sure that it got there, and in the end Port Vale have the lead in this League Cup tie. And so Mansfield Town, they've got to come from behind once again in the League Cup. They had to do it against Sheffield Wednesday, they've had to do it against Peterborough United, they're going to have to do it again against Port Vale as Aaron Lewis goes to ground and gets a free kick. How did Mansfield respond, Craig?
We just got the first 3-4 minutes of this second half, they actually started really bright. Got the ball down, put the ball into certain areas of the pitch that caused Port Vale a few problems, and it was just one sort of innocuous ball into a forward area which Alfie Devine picks up and he scores a really good goal, and Mansfield just got to get themselves.
Lewis Reid has lost it, although he just made amends by staying put as he sends a high ball for Ollie Clark, dealt with in the end by Jesse Deborah. But Lewis Reid, the luckiest man in North Nottinghamshire, because he tried to control the ball out of the air and it just got a touch from an on-rushing Ben Garrity, and thankfully for Mansfield Town, Lewis Reid just stuck out a limb of some sort and they managed to keep hold of the ball. Meanwhile, here come Port Vale, long ball again for Lewis Brunt to deal with. He's under no pressure though from Uche Pies, who just half volleys that back to the goalkeeper, Christy Pym. And here is Aidan Flint outside his own penalty area. Across he goes to Lewis Brunt on loan from Leicester City. The volume gone up tenfold in the away end, in the north stand. A full sellout crowd from Port Vale making the 124-mile round trip from Stoke. Or Stoke and surrounding areas, I should say. And now here come Mansfield again with Lewis Brunt just outside his own area. At the moment, Mansfield Town are just happy to keep hold of it and play it around and just get a feel for the ball again around the back. Here's Lewis Reid, back to his goalkeeper in Christy Pym. You can see where Jordan Barry and Callum MacDonald are. They are high. It looks like Mansfield are playing a front four at the moment. Certainly Jordan Barry, one of the furthest forward from the right back, as he flicks that one on down into the channel, looking for Will Swan if he can get there, as it's not the best ball back to Connor Ripley, who turns. Will Swan putting his man under pressure, but it's dealt with in the end by Connor Ripley, and this time sent away by Jason Lowe, cushioned down by Lewis Brunt, and he can maybe go on one of those marauding runs in midfield, but instead goes to Aaron Lewis. Here is Jordan Barry, just takes a touch and shepherds the ball back to Aidan Flint, takes it and plays it down the line for Barry again, in field to Lewis Reid. Needs to see more of him on the ball. Here's Flint back again to Lewis Reid, didn't want it there, and it's under pressure again from Uche Pies. This time Christy Pym across to Callum MacDonald. Just one or two nervy moments for Mansfield Town since going behind, Craig.
Yeah, there is, and Mansfield just got to step up and just take the game to Port Vale. Just be brave in possession, get the ball moving a little bit quicker, but actually when they do move it quicker, they can actually shift Port Vale around and sort of get down the sides of them.
Goal at St James Park, 8-1, Middlesbrough 1 in the League Cup fourth round. Morgan Rogers with the equaliser for Middlesbrough. Mansfield Town looking for an equaliser themselves with Will Swan down the left hand side. He pulls it across the edge of the 6-yard box. Aaron Lewis was there, but so was the cluster of Port Vale defenders, but Mansfield Town win it back. It hits the top of a Port Vale head, goes out of play for a Mansfield throw. They need to respond as it's back down this left hand side. And it's just about played through to Aidan Flint, who pushes the ball out over halfway, just outside the centre circle. Although he's travelled quite a long way with the ball as Aidan Flint. Forward it goes to Davis Keeler-Dunn, being held off, but it's back with Jordan Barry, looking for the run of Aaron Lewis, but didn't want it there as Aaron Lewis nearly tripped up his man. Here is Nathan Smith, having to turn one way, then the other, clear that one downfield. It just clipped off Davis Keeler-Dunn's toe, although Mansfield Town fans, who are a lot closer than we are, don't believe that happened. And it's going to be a throw to Port Vale inside their own half. 10 gone in the second half nearly, and it's Mansfield Town 0, Port Vale 1.
It's a good response from Mansfield. You know, after going there 1-0 down, they've seemed to have played with a bit more zip to the ball, passed it a little bit better between lines, and taking the ball further up the pitch and causing Port Vale a few problems.
Here's Aidan Flint knocking the ball downfield, but it's safely into the feet of the goal scorer Alfie Devine, and this time it's booted clear. One for Lewis Brunt to fire back into the 18-yard box. If Davis Keeler-Dunn could read the flight of the ball, sadly wasn't able to after being under pressure from Jason Lowe, and it will go safely into the feet of Connor Ripley, who, wearing all pink, bowls the ball out all the way wide to Jesse Deborah. One of the back three of Port Vale sends it down the right hand side, headed away by Callum MacDonald. It's dealt with though by Oliver Arblaster on loan from Sheffield United, played in field. Once again, here's Afonso Ojo, back down the line it goes. It's a nice touch. Oh no, not the best touch, as a late challenge coming in on Callum MacDonald from Oliver Arblaster. And the referee has decided to keep his cards in his pocket. It was late, but the referee decided that that's not worthy of a yellow card.
It's not, but he could have just played on and then pulled it back afterwards, you know.
The ball is sent high once again from Mansfield Town. Barry can't quite get it under his spell. Meanwhile, Port Vale looking the more confident of the two sides with the ball, despite the form that they've had so far. They're pinging it left, right and centre. And out it goes to the right hand side for Tom Sang, who's got a couple of yellow shirts in front of him. In the end, he has to go backwards all the way to Jason Lowe. Connor Ripley is way off his line. He's sort of acting as another centre half, and he plays it into the middle of the park, and it wasn't the best ball, but Alfie Devine made the most of it, and this time Port Vale still have it. It's still just playing passes left, right and centre and backwards, and at the moment Mansfield Town can barely get a kick, but they're keeping their shape. But Port Vale slowly working their way through as it spins away off the Mansfield Town man. Last linesman's flag goes up, and Mansfield will have a free kick. I think it might have been Tom Sang who was offside, and so Mansfield will have a chance to get a touch of the ball again.
Yeah, really good football from Port Vale. Kept possession, really integrate passing entire areas again, just to try and move Mansfield out of the area, and fortunately centre forward caught offside.
Here's Davis Keeler-Dunn, rolls it in to Aaron Lewis, left-footed ball out to the left-hand side for Callum McDonald, but he's got Ollie Clark on the overlap. Here is Ollie Clark finding Callum McDonald. Loads of people in the penalty area, but Ollie Clark will try and win it back, and he does just that, as it's not quite dealt with again by Port Vale, but eventually they can clear their lines. Up it goes towards Uche Piezu, who gets the touch of the ball first, and it goes out of play off the Mansfield Town man for a Port Vale throw. But again, good play down the left-hand side. Callum McDonald, Ollie Clark, all involved. Will Swan over there as well. And at the moment, just wouldn't quite sit for a Stags player.
No, it wouldn't. I think the opportunity for McDonald to put the ball in the box, he lost it once he took his first touch. I think he's got to deliver that early, and that allows then centre forwards to make the runs and sort of gamble on where that ball might be going.
Here is Jesse Debrett. Just knocks the ball against Davis Keeler-Dunn, and that will go out of play for a Port Vale throw. Port Vale themselves beating Fleetwood and Crewe and Sutton to get here in this League Cup fourth round. Their first since 2006, where they were beaten by Spurs. They've never made it to the quarter-final of this competition. Ball played forward. Will Swan plucks it out the air beautifully, but it's not the best ball back to Ollie Clark, and they've got to play off a Port Vale man for a Mansfield Town throw. So Mansfield Town look to continue their unbeaten run at the moment, but they've played 57 minutes and they are trailing by 1-0. That goal from Alfie Devine as the ball is cut out. Mansfield Town will try and go again with James Platt. He's pulled back, and it's going to be a free kick to Port Vale. At the moment, Mansfield Town just struggling a little bit to contain Port Vale, and Nigel Clough has opted for a double change, and we are going to see Rhys Oates come onto the field of play. In fact, a triple change, I beg your pardon. So Rhys Oates coming on for Will Swan. Rhys Oates, who scored a late equaliser at Sheffield Wednesday. We'll see what he's got up his sleeve. In fact, he's not played since then. Meanwhile, George Maris coming off for James Gale, and Hiram Boateng will be coming on also. I'd imagine it might be for Ollie Clark, but we shall see as the board goes up. Hiram Boateng standing with his gloves on, and it will be Ollie Clark to come off for Hiram Boateng. Triple change, Craig, your thoughts?
Yeah, positive change. You know, the manager wants to try and win this game of football, and you know, by making changes, and I don't think it's weak on the side. I think it's like for like, a little bit different variety. You know, Boateng can get on the ball, can drive forward with it, can be that physical presence that they're probably lacking a little bit. We've got Rhys Oates, who just wants to run in behind, and there's a threat and a problem every time he gets in there.
Well, he's not played since Sheffield Wednesday away in the League Cup. He got a bit of a whack to the hamstring, and he was out for some considerable time, but Nigel Clough had originally pinpointed that the Everton game, the under-21s, will be the game where he comes back, but he's come on tonight and he's got half an hour, and we'll see if he's got half an hour in him as the ball is back with Jordan Barry right by his own corner flag, knocked back into Lewis Reid, who fires that one downfield up towards James Gale, brought to ground, free kick to Mansfield, and can relieve a bit of pressure. An hour played, 0-0.
Yeah, really looking forward to how these subs actually can impact the game. Now what we need is, you need a Louis Reid on the ball more, because as soon as you can get him on the ball, he can dictate and sort of pull strings. And at the moment, I think he's found it very difficult to sort of dominate and sort of dictate the pattern of the play.
Exciting to see Rhys Oates back as well. We know what he is all about, the pace and the energy, as we've seen already. But off goes Alfie Devine with plenty of pace of energy about him as he offloads it to Tom Sang down the right-hand side into the channel. It goes down in midfield as it's sent into the penalty area. Ball across the 6-yard box, not dealt with by Mansfield, but not prodded home either by a Port Vale man in a white shirt. Thankfully for Mansfield, that goes all the way through for a throw. Yeah,
a little bit too much pace on the cross there from the wide area, and we were fortunate for Mansfield, just gone straight across the 6-yard box and out for a throw-in.
Going to Mansfield Town then, as Port Vale still leading by 1-0 in this League Cup fourth round tie. Half an hour to go. It's been an entertaining one, that is for sure, just like the previous 3 rounds for Mansfield Town, but at the moment Port Vale are having the better of it. But Mansfield Town have made a triple change to try and get something from this game if they can, maybe force it to penalties. But a ball forward towards Uche Piezu, tussling away with Lewis Brunt, still with Uche Piezu, dinks it across, and it hits the top of the crossbar and bounces down the left-hand channel, and the ball is sent into the area towards Ojo, left-hand side, on towards Plant into the box on his right foot, look to strike it near post, great save from Christy Pym to keep it at 1-0, really good save at his near post, and Pym had to dive low to his right-hand side and palm that one away. Good play from Port Vale. The ball clipped the top of the crossbar. Plant just cut inside the left-hand channel, fired it low, right-footed, and in the end Christy Pym was equal to it.
Yeah, cross comes in from the wide right area, and Christy Pym thinks it's actually going behind, clips the crossbar and stays in play. Christy Pym should have dealt with him, put it behind, but as Port Vale keep it alive, he does redeem himself and pulls off a great save.
The cross hitting the crossbar, and then Christy Pym with a good save as the corner comes in towards that back post. It's headed away. Oh, it's right onto the head in the end of Jesse Deborah, who came forward from centre half, and thankfully Christy Pym was right place, right time. Now let's see what Rhys Oates can do if he can keep it in play. He can't. It was at full sprint, and unfortunately wasn't able to keep it in. First sign of Rhys Oates in this game since coming off the bench about a minute or so ago. Meanwhile, we're going to see a change for Port Vale. Ryan Loft coming on for Uche Ikpeazu, who's caused no ends of problems so far, and he was a whisker away from getting his first goal in Port Vale colours.
Yeah, I think he's been excellent for Port Vale. He's been an actual thorn in Mansfield's back four. He's strong, aggressive, just a handful, just caused so many problems. Hold-up play's been really good, and Mansfield has struggled to deal with him.
Well, I think Mansfield Town will be pretty pleased to see that Uche Ikpeazu is leaving the pitch. Meanwhile, there has been another goal at St James's Park, and it's Sam Silvera who's put Middlesbrough in front. Exeter 1, Middlesbrough 2 in the other League Cup 4th round game tonight at St James's Park. League 1 Exeter taking on Championship side Middlesbrough, and it's the Championship side who are now leading after being a goal down in the first half, 2 goals in the second, which means they are on their way through potentially to the quarter-finals of the League Cup. But who will be joining them there, Mansfield Town or Port Vale? At the moment it's Port Vale who lead by a goal to nil. Match night from BBC Radio Nottingham and on BBC 5 Sports Extra. The ball forward towards James Gale, puts out the air beautifully, still with Gale, goes to ground, but it's a really good defensive work from Nathan Smith. Gives the ball away though to Hiram Boateng. His read square to Callum McDonald, looking for an option in front of him, but he's found one in Hiram Boateng. Still with Boateng down the right hand side, pushes the ball out, ball in the area, it's pulled away by the goalkeeper and just about dealt with in the end by Fonso Ojo. Had to clear his lines there, did Ojo, and so did Connor Ripley, just clawed that one away. But here's Jordan Bowery in the mist down the right hand side. He's got Davis Keeler-Dunn on the overlap, but he's can't find him there. Here is Davis Keeler-Dunn back to Aidan Flint. Needs to swing this one in if he can. He does do. It's not quite dealt with though by Port Vale. James Gale still has it. James Gale strikes it. Goal was deflects off a Mansfield man and goes out of play for a goal kick. That could have gone anywhere, but good play again from Mansfield Town, and James Gale was at the heart of it all.
Yeah, it was Aidan Flint puts a ball in. I don't think it was a great ball, but James Gale's made it look a little bit a better ball than it was. I think James Gale, as he pins it in, Keeler-Dunn's asking for him just to set me laid off, and he just a little bit greedy, tries to get his shot away, and unfortunately for Port Vale it deflects off a Mansfield Town player out for a goal kick.
Connor Ripley certainly being busier than he was in the first half. It was clawed away, the cross from the left hand side. This time it's booted clear by Christy Pym. High for James Gale or a Davis Keeler-Dunn. This time Mansfield try and win it with Aaron Lewis, although Tom Bramall said it was a bit too forceful, and Port Vale will have a free kick. 6-5 gone, 1-0 to the Valiants, who have only won twice on the road this season in the league. They beat Charlton and also beaten Oxford United as well in League One, so not the best of seasons on the road, of course, but so far, despite having a bit of a poor run of form, they're looking a very good side, and they've got that goal to show for it, Craig.
Yeah, they have, and deservedly so, leading the game. Whether it shows on how good or how strong League One is at the moment, because Port Vale look a very, very good side.
They certainly do, as it's a cross by Nathan Smith. Challenge coming in on Aaron Lewis, and Nathan Smith will go into the book for that one. It was a late one on Aaron Lewis, and Mansfield Town will have a free kick on halfway. Certainly been in the wars in recent weeks, as Aaron Lewis has had a couple of players getting booked and sent off for challenges on him, and Nathan Smith the latest.
Yeah, he did well there, Aaron Lewis. He just stepped across Nathan Smith as he went to ground and drew the free kick, which probably looked a little bit worse than it was, but bought the free kick and got him booked.
Long free kick taken by Aaron Lewis up towards Aidan Flint, the focal point for Mansfield Town at the moment, as the ball spins off Jesse Deborah's head, and that'll go out of play for a Mansfield Town throw. Taken short to Hiram Boateng, back to Callum McDonald, all the way across he goes to Aidan Flint. Ball across to Lewis Reed, and Reed looking to play a high ball for Rhys Oates if he can get there, and he's done well as Rhys Oates gets between man and ball. In fact, it's still with Rhys Oates, twisting and turning as he always does. Still got it, Rhys Oates, but he's dispossessed at the very last second in the end by Fonso Ojo. Just had to get there, a bit of a kick on the ankle from Rhys Oates on Fonso Ojo, not letting him out the corner, certainly for sure, and eventually, no, it goes out of play. off a Mansfield man, according to the official on this near side, for a goal kick, as Rhys Oates and Davis Keeler-Dunn battled away, try and win the corner kick. Fonso Ojo, I have to say, to his credit, did incredibly well there to get out of a tight situation and get his side a goal kick, but Mansfield Town will not be happy with that.
Yeah, he did. He was under immense pressure from two Mansfield Town players, and you know, the linesman at the moment isn't the most favourable person. Quite a few decisions going to Port Vale, and Mansfield Town fans have let the linesman know.
66 gone. Port Vale lead by a goal to nil as Mansfield Town get a free kick. Tom Bramall, the recipient of a few sarcastic cheers from the One Call Stadium, which still sits in the mist here in North Nottinghamshire. It's been misty all afternoon and all night, but at the moment it's not hampered the game too much. Crossfield ball to Jordan Barry, takes it in his stride and pushes the ball out, finds a cross as well, but it's high and wide, not a play for a goal kick, as we still wait to see whether Nigel Clough might make another change. But the 3 changes he's made so far, Craig, what have you made of them? I think Rhys Oates has caused 1 or 2 problems already.
Yeah, they have. They made a positive change. You know, they're putting the ball in behind. James Gill had a really lovely deft touch, brought it down, and just unfortunately it just didn't sit for him. It just looks like they're trying to take the game and push the ball forward a little bit quicker and try and play more football in sort of Port Vale's half.
Well, Mansfield Town win the ball back, although it's just been nicked away from Lewis Reed by Oliver Arblaster. This time it's switched to the left-hand side for James Plant, 19-year-old, up against Jordan Barry. Plant just steps on the ball and cuts it back, looks for an option, and he's found one in Nathan Smith, the captain. Infield it goes to Fonso Ojo. It's got a couple of players on the overlap, and one of them is on towards Oliver Arblaster, who blasts it towards goal. It's going to come back to the right-hand side as a nice touch from Tom Sang, deflects off him, goes into the area, and Mansfield Town will try and clear their lines if they can. Lewis Brunt eventually clearing it over towards Rhys Oates. It goes through to James Gale, shouts for handball, nothing given as he reverses it round the back, and Rhys Oates can run here at the defence, still with Rhys Oates, pushes it in front of him, tries to dink the goalkeeper, and it's denied by a really good save from Conor Ripley. That's what they've been missing, the pace, the energy of Rhys Oates, and he's causing more problems.
Yeah, they are, and just unfortunate, the ball just wouldn't sit for Rhys Oates. He's had that extra touch, just wouldn't settle down, couldn't get it under control as comfortably as he wanted, and you know, his last touch was a little bit heavy and allowed the keeper to make the save.
Shouts of "come on you Stags" coming from all around the One Call Stadium. Corner coming into the box, headed away. It's not the best ball from Davis Keeler-Dunn, easily dealt with by Port Vale. Jordan Barry keeps it in on halfway, sends it square to Lewis Reed inside his own half. Let's just fire that one early down the line for Davis Keeler-Dunn. Lovely touch in the area, but the flag goes up. Not sure about that one. There was players in the penalty area there, and Aidan Flint and Aaron Lewis come over. Natalie Aspinall, the official on this near side, getting the full brunt of Aidan Flint and Aaron Lewis, and the Ian Greaves stand on the Quarry Lane and closest to it.
I actually agree with everything that Aidan Flint said. I think it's an absolute disgrace and a really poor decision from the lines lady. So there's a Port Vale player injured on the penalty spot as the ball's played in behind, and she's flagged Keeler-Dunn for being offside. It's never been offside. He's onside by about 20 yards.
Yeah.
What a poor decision there.
I was going to say the ball came straight back in. There was certainly players in there, but the official getting the full brunt of Mansfield basically. But again, that decision, we'll see how costly that is, because it was a great touch from Davis Keeler-Dunn into the right hand channel, and again he had options in there too. 20 to go. Match night from BBC Radio Nottingham and on 5 Sports Extra. Meanwhile, it's 1-0 to Port Vale here, and it's 2-2 down at St James Park. Quite a game going on between Exeter and Middlesbrough, and Ryan Trevitt has got another one. It's Exeter 2, Championship side at Middlesbrough 2 at St James Park. Quite a game going on there. Quite a game going on here at the moment between Mansfield and Port Vale, as the official on this near side is getting quite a lot of stick from the Ian Greaves stand after that decision, and that's an understatement. As the ball is sent in from the throw, back across it goes to Jesse Deborah, sent forward again onto the corner of the penalty area in towards Ben Garrity. This time it's just about dealt with by Mansfield Town, although it's sent back into the penalty area and it's had to be dealt with by Jordan Barry. Onto the chest and the volley, shouts a handball behind the goal by the Port Vale fans. Nothing doing by the referee as Barry gets there first, hooks that one up in the air, tangles with a Port Vale attacker. One of them is Ryan Loft, and Aaron Lewis picks it up and sends it down the right hand side for Gale, looking to turn and run at his man, but he was unable to do so. Good defensive work from Nathan Smith, and now off goes Alfie Devine. Another jinking run from him down the left hand side up against Jordan Bowery. Cross coming in, not the best ball. Goal kick.
Yeah, good defending in the end. As soon as the ball comes into Gale up front, it looks like he just wants to get a hold of it and get the ball down and just take his opponent on. He's got pace and he's got power, and hopefully we can get him in those 1v1 positions and higher up the pitch.
Well, we saw earlier, just a couple of minutes ago, what him and Rhys Oates can do between them. Some significant damage, and had to be denied by some good goalkeeping from Connor Ripley. Ball played down the line meanwhile for Tom Sang as Mansfield try and win it back, but Port Vale come away with it. Somehow down the line it goes on towards Tom Sang still. Ball into the area, deflects, and it's going to be another Port Vale corner kick, their 7th of the evening.
Yeah, Mansfield have got to switch on, make sure that they keep this game at 1-0. That allows them the opportunity to go and try and create something for themselves.
The corner taken short, and it's nearly caught Mansfield Town out, but Port Vale are going to have another go. 8 corners for them now in front of their own fans as the referee just blows his whistle. I think it's just a bit of a strange goings on in the penalty area involving Ryan Loft. Not entirely sure who else with. I think the referee is telling Ryan Loft to leave the field for the time being to get some treatment. I'm not entirely sure what for. Difficult to tell from here.
There possibly some blood on his shirt.
Yeah, possibly.
Shirt.
Yeah, because Ryan Loft, 6'3", thankfully isn't in there for this set piece, which could be a bit of a blessing, really. Maybe just got a bit of a whack to the nose and a bit of blood on his shirt, and so the corner will be taken without Ryan Loft. Over on the far side, which Tom Sang will take, fires that one into the penalty area. Header coming in, it's just, in the end it's gone well wide and out of play for a throw, but from this angle it looked like a powerful header from a Port Vale defender, and thankfully for Stags it went well wide of the mark for a Mansfield Town throw in the end as Lewis Reid picks up the loose ball on the edge of the box, but he nearly gives it away, just has to help it on before Ben Garrity was scampering away there at Lewis Reid, and thankfully for Mansfield there's a couple of bodies there for him to aim at. Ball round the back, reversed for Aaron Lewis if he can get there ahead of Nathan Smith. Connor Ripley wants it, but Aaron Lewis steps in, wins it back, and Mansfield get a throw, and you can hear the applause around the One Call Stadium for Natalie Aspinall, the official on this near side, as he gives Mansfield Town a throw.
She orders that one.
As the throw comes in from Aaron Lewis, headed up in the air by Nathan Smith. It's going to come back again for Davis Keeler-Dunn, as this time it's James Gale who steps there first. Player goes down holding his head. You can hear the scream. Not entirely sure who it was who went down on the deck, but Port Vale will have a free kick. 15 or just over 15 to go. Port Vale lead by a goal to nil as Nigel Clough is gesturing to the referee. This time wasting better be added on at the end of the game, you know.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy now when defenders still try and head the ball around people's kneecaps and waist. When someone puts the foot up, they actually still get the free kick. And it's you know, I think the officiating at times, especially in this game, hasn't been at its best.
No, definitely not. And again, we'll be speaking with Nigel Clough at the conclusion of this game. Win, lose or draw. We're saying that you can't draw this game because of course you go through on a penalty shootout if it does end after 90 minutes with a draw, but Mansfield Town are a goal short of that so far with just over 15 minutes to go in this game. As it's sent high for Rhys Oates, battling away, but Fonso Ojo gets there first, dinked forward by Jesse Deborah. And this time it's well won by Ryan Loft again. On the edge of the box is Fonso Ojo. It's in towards Ben Garrity, but it's cleared away. And this time Mansfield Town can bring the ball out from the back with Aidan Flint. Still got it as the centre half, as he sends a high ball for James Gale. It's just been well held off in the end by Nathan Smith. He knew exactly what he was doing there, the 27-year-old, just making sure that James Gale went no further and the ball can safely go through to Connor Ripley. And so Mansfield Town again need to find a different route. The long ball with Rhys Oates and James Gale at the moment not working. They just seem to be able to work that well, do Port Vale, just be able to shepherd each one through to the goalkeeper. Meanwhile the long ball for Port Vale headed back to goal by Lewis Brunt into the gloves of the goalkeeper. That's always a tricky one, literally 2 yards in front of Christy Pearman. Lewis Brunt had to get that absolutely spot on, otherwise they could have been in trouble.
Yeah, he could have. He knew what he was doing there, and you know, good calm play in the end from Lewis Brunt.
It's the voice of former Mansfield Town defender Craig Armstrong with us on BBC Radio Nottingham and BBC 5 Sports Extra. 1-0 to Port Vale in this League Cup 4th round tie. Meanwhile, down at St James Park, Exeter 2, Middlesbrough 2. Quite a game going on in this 4th round tie. So we're going to get the attendance. It's going to be just shy of 7,500. 7,432 is the exact number, with about 1,200 or so coming from Port Vale. Another good attendance and another good match night here at the One Call Stadium, as off goes Aaron Lewis, giving it to Lewis Reed. Across he goes to Callum MacDonald. 15 to go, or just under 15 in fact, more like 13 and a half for Mansfield Town to get something and to stay in this League Cup. Off goes Hiram Boateng. They've scored late before against Peterborough and against Sheffield Wednesday. Have they got another trick up their sleeve? It is Halloween after all.
Mansfield have certainly got the quality within the side and within the ranks to score goals. Just at the moment they just find it very, very difficult. The stubborn defence of Port Vale.
Well, Port Vale, they look like more that players have gone towards a back five, with James Plant and Tom Sang playing a bit more defensively than what we saw in the first half. Tom Sang almost had the freedom of that right hand side in the opening 45 minutes and for certain spells of the second half. But off goes Lewis Reed, crossfield ball to Jordan Barry up against James Plant. The ball ricochets away. Aidan Flint keeps it in, header forward by James Gale, and that'll go all the way through to Conor Ripley, as Nigel Clough and Andy Garner stand side by side in the technical area as the clock ticks towards the 78th minute. 12 to go plus any stoppage time, otherwise Mansfield Town, their unbeaten run and League Cup run could come to an end. But a long way to go and a lot of twists and turns yet. But at the moment Conor Ripley is taking his time as he drills that one forward towards Ryan Loft. Big commanding header from Lewis Brunt to win that one, but off goes Fonso Ojo square to the left hand side for James Plant, who just lets the ball roll underneath his studs, tricks his way past Jordan Barry, still has it as James Plant, as he somehow comes away with it and finds Alfie Devine. This time he's got a couple of bodies on the right hand side. One of them is Jesse Debrett. Forward it goes on towards Ben Garrity, who turns and lots to go on the edge of the box. It's going to be struck goals, and it took a big nick and a big deflection away, and it goes out of play for a corner kick as Oliver Arblaster tried to turn and wiggle away and fire a shot goalwards, and in the end it took a flailing Mansfield Town body to deny Port Vale a second goal.
Yeah, good defending from Lewis Brunt there, just jumped in front of the shot, deflected it over for another corner. You know, Mansfield still have a threat going forward, but Port Vale has definitely got some quality in their ranks.
And the corner going to be taken by Tom Sang, 24-year-old 6'2" right back, who joined in the summer, former Cheltenham and Cardiff man. As the corner comes in right footed towards that back post, header coming down into the box, shouts for handball, and the referee points for a corner kick. Again, one of those where you can hear the Port Vale fans certainly behind the goal. They're absolutely adamant, but when you're sat behind a goal that you're attacking, anything if it comes off a body part, they're always going to shout for handball, aren't they? Yeah, they are, and again it's another really good delivery from Port Vale's forward line. And the corner kick it will be again to Port Vale, their 10th of the night. They lead Mansfield Town by a goal to nil in this League Cup 4th round tie. Corner coming in into the penalty area at the near post, headed away by Aaron Lewis, the bleached blonde hair, glancing that one away, and it will go out of play for a Port Vale throw as Mansfield Town are going to ready another player, and it's going to be Stephen McLaughlin for his first appearance in a Mansfield Town shirt on the pitch since the end of April. Yeah, since Newport. What a night. That'll be interesting for McLaughlin if we can obviously keep him on the pitch and keep him fit, because he's got so much quality in his ranks. Throw comes short, downfield it goes towards Oliver Arblaster. He manages to turn away past Hiram Boateng, but Boateng does well to recover the ball as it's going to be cleared by Lewis Reed, sent high up to the halfway line. It's dealt with though by Port Vale. Headed forward, Jordan Barry takes a touch and tries to work his way over to the right hand side. He gives it to Aaron Lewis, looking to go down the line for James Gale. Nice turn and touch as he looks to turn and dink that one forward. It's over Davis Keeler-Dunn. Nodded it down well, did Keeler-Dunn, but there was nobody there in a Mansfield Town shirt, and off goes Tom Sang down the right hand side, just checks and finds Jesse Debrett, the former Halifax man who started his life at Millwall. Certainly come in and impressed Andy Crosby as the ball spins through for Nathan Smith, the captain of Port Vale, an ever-present figure for the Valiants as down the line it goes. Nice ball outside of the boot towards Alfie Devine from James Plant, and here is Alfie Devine again, the goal scorer. His goal, the difference so far. Just under 10 minutes to go. Mansfield Town 0, Port Vale 1 in this League Cup 4th round tie. Mansfield Town trailing for the third consecutive League Cup tie in a row. And at the moment, we know how the previous two ended, so fingers crossed Mansfield Town could get something from this game, take it to penalties and go through that way. Mansfield Town fans will not mind a single bit as we still wait to see the arrival of Steve McLaughlin. At the moment, Port Vale just happy to keep hold of the ball and play it back to their goalkeeper, who plays it to Nathan Smith, the captain. Plays one down the line, a loose ball. Aidan Flint will deal with it and fire that one downfield. It's going to be headed away though, this time by Nathan Smith. Mansfield Town needs some fresh ideas, some fresh impetus from somewhere, and hopefully Steve McLaughlin can provide that once he gets on, Craig.
Yeah, definitely. He's certainly got the quality with his left foot. You know, any free kicks, any sort of delivery, any around the sort of Port Vale box, he'll definitely pose a threat.
There's Aidan Flint, has to go back to his goalkeeper in Christy Pearn. Match night from BBC Radio Nottingham and on 5 Sports Extra. We're back on Saturday, FA Cup double header between Notts County and Crawley at 3 o'clock, and then from 7 Mansfield Town hosting Wrexham in the FA Cup first round. As the ball spins through, as Aidan Flint stabs the ball away, and it's going to be a free kick, although I think the flag has gone up on that far side, and Aidan Flint's just poked the ball away, and he's got one of two choice words for Alfie Devine.
Yeah, he's got to be careful though, Aidan Flint, because I think he did catch him, but he's got to be careful because he's already been booked, and the last thing you want to do is showing any dissent around the player or the referee.
Certainly doesn't want to be doing that, and now we are going to see Steve McLaughlin coming on for Callum MacDonald. What a moment this is for Mansfield Town. Steve McLaughlin, who's not played since Mansfield beat Newport back in April. Remember that, Craig?
I do remember that. You know, he came on as a sub and lasted, 5-10 minutes, if that.
Didn't last very long. That knee injury caused him no end of problems last season. But he's recovered. He's had the right treatment. And he told me on Saturday that he was fit and raring to go. And we're going to see him get at least 7 minutes of this game. And we shall see if he can be the difference maker. But at the moment, Port Vale have got a player down. Alfie Devine is still down for Port Vale. He's still not quite on his feet, although he's slowly walking on the field of play. And they've also moved Aidan Flint up top, and so McLaughlin is going to play at left back. Aaron Lewis is going to play at right back, with Jordan Bowery and Lewis Brunt at centre halves. And so Aidan Flint, tall, strong, 6'6" centre half, now becomes tall, strong, 6'6" centre forward.
And let's hope that they realise that he's gone up front.
Let's hope so, as the ball is sent high, looking for Aidan Flint, but it's headed away by Jason Lowe. This time Steve McLaughlin gets his first touch of the ball, looks to fire that one into the penalty area, looking for the ball towards the back post, towards Rhys Oates. Really good ball immediately from Steve McLaughlin with his first touch, as Rhys Oates tries to turn and twist one way, then the other. Good play from him as a couple of players go to ground, and it will be a free kick to Port Vale, as Rhys Oates just caught, I think it might have been Nathan Smith, as he tried to scramble away from him, and you can understand the frustration, not just in the ground but also for Craig Armstrong, because that was a bit of a half of one and half of one and half the other.
Yeah, 6 and 2 threes.
That sort of then.
It was.
I don't use that quote very often, as you can tell.
If I was a Port Vale player, I'd be buzzing that I've got the free kick and thinking rightly so, and as a Mansfield Town player, I'd be really disappointed that's been given against me.
You'd be absolutely gutted, wouldn't you? Particularly with the lovely turn from Rhys Oates, as well, as Lewis Brunt lands on his backside, but he gets straight up immediately. Here is James Plant, as Mansfield Town try and win the ball back. Davis Keeler-Dunn telling him to get up. Bonso Ojo down on the deck. 5 to go. Match night on BBC Radio Nottingham and 5 Sports Extra. Port Vale leading Mansfield by a goal to 0. 5 to go for Mansfield to try and get an equaliser and stay in the League Cup. But at the moment, Port Vale are holding them at arm's length. It's just a few glimpses of moments from Rhys Oates and James Gale that are causing them problems, but they've still got time as the ball round the back from McLaughlin. Bit too heavy, but James Gale will certainly try and get there. It's a front three now of Gale, Flint and Rhys Oates. We'll see if he's got another finish up his sleeve. But Aidan Flint actually got to the semi-finals of the League Cup with Bristol City. They beat Man United on the way, as the ball is sent high, as James Gale would have been offside should he got there, I think. Meanwhile, Middlesbrough have turned it around again at St James Park. Exeter City 2, Middlesbrough 3, and it's Emmanuel Lapp with the goal for Middlesbrough, and so Championship side leading by 3-2 at St James's Park, and it's the League One side here that are leading League Two Mansfield Town by 1-0. And at the moment, Port Vale are 5 minutes away from a place in the quarter-finals. There's going to be a player who's got a yellow card out, so I can't quite tell who it is on the bench for Port Vale. Josh Thomas has gone into the book. I'm not entirely sure exactly what he did, but I'd imagine he wasn't very quick in giving the ball back to Jordan Barry from the throw. Meanwhile, it will be a throw to Port Vale, right in front of Nigel Clough's dugout, to be taken by Nathan Smith. 5 to go, Craig Armstrong. What do Mansfield do here? Is it just a case of just keep applying the pressure and just trying new things? Yeah, just put the ball forward and get it in around Aidan Flint. Hopefully get bodies running off him with Rhys Oates and Gale, and get Keeler Dunn in around it and push further up the pitch. But they've got to be patient and not be over aggressive and frustrated with the time wasting from Port Vale, or the poor decisions from the linesman or the referee, because they're giving free kicks away and they're giving free kicks in wrong areas, and what that does is just relieves the pressure and obviously lets Port Vale just calm and relax the game down. There's a lovely touch from James Gale, trying to run at his man here as Gale goes down the left hand side, fires it into the penalty area towards Keeler Dunn, into the channel, turns on towards his right foot, just has it nicked away from him, but Mansfield will try and turn it goalwards again, and Aidan Flint, that man, has just managed to squeeze a corner out of absolutely nothing as he swings his arms around towards the Quarry Lane end, and trying to get them cheered up as Mansfield Town might try and get an equaliser from this corner. Well, they will try and get an equaliser from this corner. Long to go, 2.5 of the 90 left as the ball comes into the box. There's an overhead kick from Rhys Oates, and there's a player down as well, kicking the floor. Rhys Oates tried to hit it on the overhead, and in the end the player goes down, and it will be a free kick to Port Vale. But again, Craig Armstrong, Aidan Flint and Conor Ripley just having a few words there as well. And it's just underhand tactics from Port Vale to try and see this game out. Yeah, well, hopefully, if the new rules, and I remember Crewe when there was something like 15 minutes of injury time in first half and second half added on, then this should be the same. This should follow suit, because since obviously Port Vale have gone ahead and the game's sort of been slowed down, there has been a little bit of time waste, a little bit of sort of acting and rolling around, and let's hope that the referee can sort of see this and add the minutes on that are needed. While the players are getting treatment, I can point you ahead to more coverage that we've got. Live football on BBC Radio Nottingham, match day from 2 o'clock on Saturday, FA Cup double header with Notts County against Crawley at Meadow Lane. Kick-off at 3 o'clock, we'll have full live commentary of that one, and then at 7:45 Mansfield Town will play Wrexham, and so we're going to see a change meanwhile for Mansfield Town. Bailey Cargill coming on for Lewis Reed. That'll just shore things up at the back for Mansfield Town if they can, although at the moment it looks like Bailey Cargill is going to play in the middle of the park alongside Aaron Lewis. Interesting change made by Nigel Clough. I thought maybe he was going to move Jordan Barry further forward, but maybe not. Yeah, he's obviously thought about this, and it's just been so disappointing, because I just don't feel like Mansfield have been at the races as such as what they have all season. But I think you've got to give credit to Port Vale. As much as their stats and their performances over the last sort of 9 to 10 games haven't been outstanding, I think Port Vale have been at the moment worthy leaders of this game and played some really, really good football. Well, Rhys Oates and James Gale just getting a few instructions from Nigel Clough, who's just handed another piece of paper to the fourth official on this near side, but the player is still receiving treatment. And so, as I was saying before, match day on Saturday, Notts County versus Crawley. 3 o'clock kick-off for that one in the FA Cup, and then Mansfield Town welcome Wrexham here on Saturday night. Full live commentary of that one, 7:45 kick-off, and then on Sunday, Nottingham Forest hosting Aston Villa in the Premier League. 2 o'clock kick-off with build-up from 1, and we've just been told that it's going to be 8 minutes of stoppage time here in this game. So 8 minutes for Mansfield Town to try and get an equaliser and force this game to penalties. A really good opportunity now for Mansfield Town, with a bit of extra time on their hands, Craig Armstrong. Yeah, and I think it's going to be longer than 8 minutes the way this is managed out and laid out. Hopefully the referee will see it and add another minute on, because they've not kicked off yet. The centre half gone down injured,
sulking a little bit. Yes, he's been took off now and sub, but I think they've just tried to use it to time waste.
Well, Lewis Cass is coming on for Port Vale. He joined in the summer after 2 very successful loans. Former Newcastle man from North Shields. So Lewis Cass is on, and Jesse Deborah is off as Conor Ripley sends a long kick forward. Going to be dealt with just about, I think, by Lewis Brunt, who commands and heads that ball away, but this time it's going to spin around down the left-hand side on towards Ryan Loft, who tries to turn past Aaron Lewis. Nice little interplay here for Port Vale as it's still with Loft, but Lewis Brunt had to get there and boot that one downfield, looking for Aidan Flint if he can get there ahead of his man. You don't want Aidan Flint running at you, but the ball spins away for Reece Oates as the ball nearly fell through to James Gale, but Burton wings it back. Oates flicks it on into Gale, into the left-hand channel, ball into the area towards the back post, and it's a really good catch from Conor Ripley. Good catch in the end as Gale got to the byline, tried to dink in across at the back post, and Conor Ripley, 6'3", just clutches the ball with both hands, and hands on heads moment at the One Call Stadium, because they had so many bodies in the area. They had Burting at the back post, Aidan Flint in there as well, and Reece Oates needed a better ball from James Gale as Mansfield Town lose it on the edge of their own 18-yard box. It's fed back to Tom Sang down the right hand side, who played 2 minutes of the 8 added on here. And it's still 1-0 to Port Vale. Ball into the right-hand tunnel for James Lowe as the ball comes forward, and it's dealt with by Hiram Boateng at the expense of Port Vale's 11th corner of the night, and they're going to leave plenty back, you'd imagine.
Yeah, they are, and they're going to sort of keep the ball in the corner, and if they can do that for 6-7 minutes, you know, if that was me, that's what I would be doing. But it's what Mansfield got to do is be patient, try and, you know, take the opportunity when, because they will get another chance, and hopefully they get that other chance that they have done in the past when they haven't played as well. They can take it.
Tom Sang standing over this corner kick. He's got Oliver Arblaster next to him as well, and it will be Tom Sang with the corner. Dealt with just about at the near post by Aaron Lewis, although not quite. This time it comes off the Mansfield Town man last, according to the referee, and it's gone for another corner kick, although Christy Pym had gone over to pick the ball up ready for a goal kick. It had just brushed off a yellow shirt, according to the referee Tom Bramall. And it'll be a 12th corner of the night for Port Vale. 3 gone in the 8 minutes of stoppage time. 5 to go, just under 5 to go, as Mansfield Town are looking at their first defeat in 19 games. Well, they've gone 19 unbeaten, first defeat in 20 as the corner comes in, headed away by Bailey Cargill, this time dealt with by Steve McLaughlin. It might fall for James Plant on the edge of the box as he just about helps it on to Alfie Devine. He hits it against Jordan Barry, but it takes a touch off Devine, and it'll go for a Mansfield Town goal kick. Christy Pym not wasting any time, that is for sure, to take this goal kick, looking for a yellow shirt. He just looks to send it forward, get it up to Aidan Flint as it's sent high up towards Aidan Flint. He gets the flick on, looking for Oates, but this time it's dealt with again by Port Vale. They'll just hit it anywhere for the final couple of minutes or so of this game. McLaughlin back to the goalkeeper and Christy Pym again, this time Pym with a big boot downfield, although he slices it, it goes more up than out, and it's just about headed on by Davis Keeler-Dunn, but James Plant is there, as was Fonzo Ojo, flicked on by Alfie Devine. Here's Aaron Lewis to Bailey Cargill, and it has to go all the way back to Christy Pym. Mansfield looking after the ball at the moment, but they need to get it further forward as they've played 4 minutes. We're over the halfway mark of this 8 minutes of stoppage time. Mansfield Town trailing by a goal to nil. The ball up towards Aidan Flint, flicked on into the penalty area. It might fall for Aaron Lewis in the box as he gets sent tumbling to the floor, but nothing given by the referee. Just lost his footing, I think. And this time the ball back to Jordan Barry on halfway, sends it across to Stephen McLaughlin. Not long to go, just under 4 minutes as the ball comes in from McLaughlin, header down coming into the box, Conor Ripley underneath it, and it wouldn't quite fall for a Mansfield Town player. There's a couple of Port Vale players down on the deck being told to get up. More underhand tactics from the Valiants. They're trying to see this game out. Frustrating for Mansfield, but for Port Vale, they'll use any tactic that they can to make sure they get through to the quarter-final, and they are 3 minutes away from doing so.
Yeah, what a great ball from McLaughlin there. He's put in a grey area. Aidan Flint's obviously drifted out into the left area where you want him in that box to go and head it, and so disappointing.
And Conor Ripley just takes the ball right to the corner of his penalty area, and as soon as Reece Oates got anywhere near him, he picked the ball up, and again it's just wasting more time as a few Mansfield Town fans decide tonight is the night that they're going to leave early. try and beat the traffic as the ball is sent high. One for Ryan Loft to win as it's helped on again. This time it's Lewis Brunt who slices that one away, but it might drop for Hiram Berting on halfway. His ball forward goes out of play, and it will be a Mansfield Town throw, which is going to be taken quickly by Davis Keeler-Dunn. Looking for an option, he finds one in Hiram Berting. We've got 2 minutes of the 8 to go in this game. Mansfield need a goal. They need a chance to stay in this League Cup. Fourth round tie as Rhys Oates looks to go on his own here. Still with Rhys Oates, turning one way, then the other. Couldn't quite replicate what he did at Sheffield Wednesday, and now Port Vale can go with Ryan Loft over halfway, or he's being held off halfway by Jordan Barry. Just about managed to get the ball out from underneath his feet. Didn't want it there, did Fonso Ojo. And Mansfield will get a throw. Aaron Lewis takes it quickly. Needs to go forward for Mansfield Town. Long ball from Lewis Brunt. Up it goes to Aidan Flint. He's the focal point. Finding Bailey Cargill. Helped on. Shouts for handball. Ball spins away. Definitely hit an arm. Although sadly, Mansfield Town didn't get a decision from the referee. Played 96 and a half as the ball is sent high and long. They've got a man over here at Port Vale, but it's denied by a really good challenge from Lewis Brunt. Had to get there. Shouts for handball against Lewis Brunt. The backspin of the ball certainly caught him, but not sure if it was on the arm, and now Mansfield can try and go again. Gale can't keep hold of it, and this time it's booted clear by Port Vale. Anywhere will do for the Valiants as Mansfield Town look to try and go again. Ball forward, headed away this time, and this time off goes Fonso Oza over halfway, and this time he's going to go down the right hand side. Time running out for Mansfield Town to stay in this League Cup. It's been a great run so far, but at the moment Mansfield are heading out unless they find something here as the cross comes in from the right hand side. It's blocked, and Port Vale will have a throw deep inside Mansfield territory.
Yeah, Port Vale just seem to have managed the ball a little bit better when sort of under pressure. Instead of going long and direct, they just still keep trying to maintain possession and just sort of getting the free kicks and balls in the Mansfield area.
Aidan Flint trying to get there first as the ball drops nicely for Jason Lowe. Out it goes towards James Plant. This time Jordan Barry and Bailey Cargill trying to win the ball back, but it spins away off Cargill, and this time off it goes to the left hand side for Alfie Devine. He's just going to take the ball to the corner flag as Mansfield Town try and win it back, but it's back out again towards Fonso Ojo, edge of the penalty area, looking to send it across the 18-yard box and the 6-yard box, and it spins through and goes out of play for a goal kick. 8 minutes of stoppage time are up, and so Christy Pym will take this goal kick quickly, sends it downfield. We've played the 8 minutes of stoppage time. Flicked on by Flint, on towards James Gale. Last chance really for Mansfield Town as Gale wants to strike it low. Took a deflection, no it didn't. Goal kick it'll be as Gale gets the glare from Aidan Flint, who said I was open, as was Rhys Oates, but Gale tried a shot, didn't quite work for him, went all the way through. Goal kick to Port Vale, and you get the feeling that once this ball leaves Conor Ripley's boot, the unbeaten run and the run in the League Cup will be over. Yeah, just a little bit anxious and sort of a little bit, trying to be the match winner or try and get the team back into it with a bit of sort of urgency, and it just didn't work out. And Mansfield had time to build the ball and get the ball forward in that sense. And maybe one last chance as Aidan Flint helps it on towards towards Rhys Oates, who helps it on for Davis Keeler-Dunn. Ball spins away to the right hand side for James Gale. Needs to get it in the box as Gale fires that one in. Oh, he completely slices it, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. Big moment there for Mansfield Town, and it needed more quality, a lot more quality from James Gale as the referee blows his whistle and ends Mansfield Town's League Cup run and their unbeaten run. 20 matches going back to last season they were unbeaten, but they have been beaten for the first time this season by 1-0 as Mansfield Town players sink to their knees. First time they've reached the fourth round since 1975, but they will go no further. Port Vale jubilant, they go through to the quarter-finals of the League Cup, but for Mansfield Town the journey ends here. 1-0 to Port Vale, Craig Armstrong. Yeah, disappointing performance from Mansfield's point of view. We can sit here and talk about what could have been. I just think Port Vale have just been the better side from start to finish and managed the game in the right moments, scored the goal. Looked like they could have got more, and other than the opportunity that Keeler-Dunn had with the volley, I don't think Mansfield have created too much. And it's disappointing to sit here and say that after what a fantastic 19-game unbeaten run they've had. Yeah. But the main goal this season, got to dust themselves down. The main goal this season for me is promotion, and they're well on track for that. Yeah, and you've got to look at, you can hear the Mansfield Town fans, they're applauding the players. Brave effort against the side in League One. The Port Vale side, of course, who came to this game in not the best form, but they seem to find ways to win games, and the quality was just too much for Mansfield Town. But Craig, what were Mansfield Town missing on the night? When you look at the situations that they had, the amount of times that they got forward, in the end it just felt like it wouldn't drop to them, and that bit of quality that was needed wasn't there tonight.
I just think it just nothing happened for them. I don't think it was the occasion. I don't think the occasion got to them. I just think it was one of those where they've come up against a side that actually have been really struggling in league football, and come here and let the shackles off. Nothing to lose, nothing to worry about. And I think Port Vale have shown what a good side they are, and Mansfield just haven't been at the races. From 1 to 11, when you're missing 2 or 3 players that just aren't performing on the night out of 11, it's very, very hard for 8 to pull you through it. And I just think there's too many players that just dropped below the standard they've set themselves this season.
We'll have more from Craig Armstrong as the Mansfield Town players slowly walk down the tunnel. Rhys Oates and Steve McLaughlin, great to see them back. How important could they be, Craig, in the coming weeks and months as Mansfield Town look to try and stay unbeaten in the league at least?
Yeah, it's massive to have Rhys Oates back, and especially McLaughlin as well. 2 quality players, and by the way, it's not going to be easy for them to get in the side because they've been winning games of football. But what it does is it just gives Nigel Clough and the coaching staff food for thought when they're making changes to the side, or they've got players to bring off the bench if players aren't playing as well as what you'd like them to. That he knows he's got a really good strong bench as well as a great starting 11.
He's got a very good team, has Nigel Clough. How do they bounce back? What do they have to do against Wrexham on Saturday night and make sure that this result doesn't derail them?
They've just got to go into the game and with the belief that they've done for the last 20 games. They haven't come into this game not to perform. It's just not happened for them, and they've come up against a really, really good side, and they're going to come up against another one against Wrexham. And what they've got to do is just go out there and perform and just put to bed what's happened tonight. Forget about, learn from this. Think about it, but this game's gone now. You've got to focus on what's coming up, and it's now up to the manager to dust people down, get them fit and get them ready for Saturday.
Wise words from Craig Armstrong as the Port Vale players leave the pitch on a night where they ended Mansfield Town's unbeaten run. Mansfield went through to the 4th round after beating Grimsby, Sheffield Wednesday, Peterborough United, but unfortunately they couldn't get past Port Vale despite having a couple of chances. Davis Keeler-Dunn with the best of them, a volley that was saved by Conor Ripley, but in the end it's Alfie Devine's second half goal, a strike from the edge of the penalty area that flew past Christy Pym into the bottom corner, and that goal sees Port Vale through to the quarter-finals of the League Cup for the first time in their history. But for Mansfield Town, the League Cup run and the unbeaten run comes to an end. It's finished here at the One Call Stadium. Mansfield Town 0, Port Vale 1.